I care so much about what I'm doing. That's the fear. Okay, run it.
Yeah.
All different feelings of fear, anxiety, but all controlled. Like when you sit there and understand, okay, why am I nervous? I'm nervous because I have to walk across a beam this wide, 100 feet up with a camera. Yeah, of course you should be scared because you don't have a harness or you could die. But when you when you really listen to what it is or understand, okay, asking this girl out, I'm nervous because I might get rejected, but I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
So when you understand, like when you really listen to your thoughts and understand, this is a good anxiety. I'm anxious because I care.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pushing you.
You turn it into a weapon, you say run it, and you jump off.
Purpose in the Youth. Purpose in the Youth podcast. Welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast with your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast with your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay. Today in the house, Rory Kramer, you legend. Do you like that intro?
Dude, it's always so funny to like hear people's like on camera thing because it's like it's literally like almost like a blown up version of yourself, almost like a cartoon version of yourself.
Definitely.
Like I don't walk around like what I did earlier.
That's the cartoon.
Literally. Yeah, exactly. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like almost like I don't know how to explain it. Like for me, it's just like I don't walk around and be like, "Yo, what's up? It's Rory."
Yeah.
I guess that's how I talk to people.
Anytime like a camera clicks, I feel like a switch in my mind click, and it's like the energy levels come up. I'm just like in it. I'm like making sure that I'm looking good and everything. So I don't know what it is, but it's like especially when I like right when I hit fire up, I like take a deep breath in and welcome back to the Purpose. It's just that energy of just.
Well, I mean, you've done it 107 times, so it's like like the first few times, like for anything, whether it's basketball or any kind of thing that you apply yourself to that you're passionate about, like of course, like you're gonna have nerves because you care about it, and like if it's something you don't care about, it's not. It's like getting up, walking to the bathroom to go to the bathroom at like in the middle of the night. You don't think twice about it.
No.
You just do it because you've done it a million times. When you're a kid, you wet the bed because you don't know how to do it. And then like once you learn how to do it, you just do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you've done it like 108 times now, and like the first two are probably like this sucks. Like first it was audio, now
so
you have
quiet.
video, and it's like you see the progression, and like that's how anything is. Like it's not going to be overnight. Yeah, you see on social media like all these cool things, but you don't see the behind the scenes, like how long it took.
Yeah.
You don't know that I'm 34 years old.
Yeah.
A lot of people think I'm 22. And you don't know that I started making videos when I was 16, and it wasn't until I was 30 that I like started making money making videos. People are just like, dude, I want your life. And it's like, yo, I earned this. And like, like the times that like I bitch about things, it's because I put in 15 years. And like when I get frustrated, it's not that I hate everything. It's just I'm just blowing off steam.
Yeah. I love on your website. There's something that I don't know if it was.
I put in my damn time.
I put in my damn time. I love that because that's what it really is, right? And also the confidence thing that you were just kind of touching on. That was actually the title of the podcast I just recently did with Matt Como. It's like confidence comes with. I forget what the exact title of it. Right there, 105. Rory's got two little friends. If you're watching
keep
visually,
bringing in
show your
more
other
of my friends.
Show your other friend. They haven't seen it. Visually.
So we got Jeremiah. Basically, I'm just gonna take credit for this guy's career in life. He's probably cheesing. His grin is probably this big as he hears that. Como. I mean, another brand that I helped build. Matt Como's arms.
Yeah,
Name
definitely.
one person that knows Matt Como that doesn't know about his arms.
You
now.
brought him to Equinox,
it's like
right?
he thinks I'm making fun of him. I'm like, dude. You like look, I'm just like, this is spitballing.
Yeah.
Now, like, you're into fitness. Now you have a fitness brand.
Yeah.
Boom. Everybody's gonna come to you. It's an arm thing. Now you're posting people with your arms like this. It's like, I want to be Matt Como.
I can tell you've been working out with him too, huh?
Dude.
Go 22,
Dude,
man.
you don't think I just hang out with the guy and like look at the arms for nothing? No, I see that and I'm just like, okay, 20 more push-ups.
Dude, you got in some good reps earlier too before we fired up this podcast.
That's what I'm saying,
Dude,
man.
got to get the blood flowing.
I'm not making fun.
No.
It's inspiration. I'm making fun of myself that I'm a scrawny little guy.
I love it. I love it.
Just set my friends here so
We're-
I feel better.
They're with us in spirits. When I think of somebody who's a doctor, right? Like they describe their profession, their career as somebody that helps people. Or if I'm a podcaster, right? That's what I do. I create content. I bring interviewers in. How would you describe who a life liver is? Because that's what I've heard you call yourself as.
Well, I mean, I guess I kind of started like a podcast like a long time ago, and I did like a 5-episode thing called like Professional Life Livers on my YouTube, and it was more kind of like for me versus for anything else. It was like, I mean, the term professional life liver to me was like, I made it up because like I didn't feel like I was that. And like as a kid, I remember being 4th, 5th grade, like on the playground, like I was like, I'm gonna be in the NFL and the NBA. I'm gonna be that guy. And it's like, no wonder there's no people that play both sports, because that's basically impossible.
Yeah.
Like even Michael Jordan playing baseball and basketball,
Savage.
He only played baseball because of his name.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he wasn't the best guy, but he wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But it was just like that kind of thing. I don't even know how we got on this topic.
Professional life living.
Oh, gotcha. See, I've been trying to tell people, like, once I get on like a topic, like I'm so like present that I forget where I've been.
Yeah.
And I've experienced a lot. And before I was like, man, like I just have a bad memory. And it's like, no, you just have a shit ton of information, and accessing it is like that crane thing where you go get a stuffed animal.
Yes, but you miss it every time.
Exactly.
You miss it every
it's
time.
like, you know it's there. It picks it up and you're like, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. You lose it. And it's just like, can I get another $1, Mom? Like, it's
I need to try
that's
this
how
again.
that's how I've come to make sense of when, because there's times where like I'm talking and I forget what I'm talking about and I get so frustrated.
Yeah.
That's how I've made peace with it. It was just like,
You've done a lot, man.
it was just like, hey, I can't access.
Yeah.
Because like, even when people are like, dude, you don't remember me? Like we met, and like
Oh,
they're
that's-
jogging my memory, and then I'm just like, yo, is this person about to call me an asshole?
Yeah.
And then if they stay long enough, they jog my memory to where I can play that game over and over and grab that thing that they're trying to. And I'm like, oh my God. And then it finally clicks.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm an asshole, not that like,
You don't care. It's
and
just
not saying like that's how like sometimes I get self-conscious. Like, God, these people probably think I'm a prick or an asshole because I can't access that information as quick as when they come up to me. And so, yeah.
I mean, when you're somebody that's doing what you do and you've traveled a lot, you've worked with some incredibly passionate people, as we're going to get into today, it doesn't surprise me that you don't remember that stuff, because I would not remember names like that, and especially running around the world, traveling, shooting videos, creating content, doing all these things that it's literally impossible for you. That's why sometimes I wish that we all had to live in a world where we had like a sticky note with our name on it, because I'm terrible with names, and I just like, man, sometimes I just forget, and I'm sitting there trying to jog back. How do I know this person? What's their name? And then they come up to me like, what's up, Bobby? I'm like, shit, I don't remember. But I try not to be disrespectful because I don't want them to think I'm an asshole.
To go off the name tag thing, I always thought like, I mean, I'm not like big into politics, and I would never like.
Dude, Rory Kramer for 2020. Let's go.
The only thing I'm saying is, if I was to have any kind of say or control over the world's problems, I think people wearing a name tag would be a huge first step into eliminating and like hopefully getting world peace. Like, you know how much like that would like how many headaches that would solve. It's just like, God, what's her name?
Yeah.
It's like, not that you're an asshole and forgot her name.
Yeah.
Which, you know, girls might think. It's like, oh, you don't remember me. And it's like, I just have a bad memory. I can't remember names.
Yeah.
But if it's on there, it's like, boom, Veronica. I remember you. I don't know who Veronica is. It's
Little
the first thing that
description-
came
no,
to
little
my.
description,
It's the
no,
first
little-
thing that came to my mind.
little
But it's like,
description.
oh my God, Veronica, I haven't seen you in like 20 years. Like, remember in like kindergarten? It's like that. It's like
epic.
If people just wore the name tag, my life would be simpler.
If anybody,
Everybody's life would be
if
simpler.
people, if there's any takeaway, that's the takeaway.
Dude, when you
from
walk
this
into the
podcast.
gas station and it's like, says Mike right there. It's like, yo,
Great.
Mike, what up?
What up,
Can I get 20 on pump 6? Simple. It's
Simple.
straight to the point. You know what you want. You know?
It's perfect. Take me back to Tell City / Clear Lake, Indiana.
So, to popular belief, a lot of people think I grew up at the lake.
But you
and
didn't,
like,
though.
I'm not.
You're not
I'm
a true Laker.
I'm from Indiana. I'm from Tell City, Indiana, which is southern Indiana. It's on the river. So any more south, you would be swimming across the river and into Kentucky. But the lake, which is in northern Indiana, my grandparents, my dad's parents, when they were just like alive and still I think my dad was like in his teenage years, like younger. They found a place like up at this lake and bought it, and over the time like just developed it, and then my dad and his brothers and sisters like took over that property and just like all pitched in so that we could have like a little vacation place. And over the time, like my dad, like that was where he wanted to retire. So I'd spend my summers going up there, maybe like a week or two. And then when I turned 19, I went to college. My dad was like, hey, we're going to like be spending the summers at the lake. Like, you know, like he worked hard, built a retirement house. And so I was like, he goes, I think it would serve you like, you know, I don't know what you're doing for the summer. Like you need to get a summer job if you're going to be living at home. And I think, you know, working at the marina on the lake would be good. Like when my parents bought a place up here, like I worked at this hotel on the lake and it changed my life. And so, you know, I took it for what it's worth and I got this job, and lo and behold, like now that's why a lot of people think I'm from the lake, is because that's where I found myself, like where I discovered, like some of my best friends are still from there. I still keep in contact with them, still go home all the time. And it's just like, I was born in one place. It's like I was born in Tell City, but I was formed at Clear Lake.
How far of a drive was in between?
5.5, 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
Like
So
literally, like if this is the state of Indiana, I lived at the bottom.
Yeah.
And we lived
tippity top.
a mile from Michigan, a mile from Ohio at the top. Yeah.
But that was a place that you kind of really got to hone
that's
in
where
on
it was just
the Rory, the creative, the guy who jumps off of things and throws himself out there. That was where that started to stem from.
Well, I mean, Tell City is where I first started making videos. I started making like jackass skits and skate videos. And then when at the lake, it was like all I wanted to do is wake skate and be on the water and just like film crazy shit. And like all those kids were, I think one perfect example of this is like one of my best friends, Taylor, from the lake. Long red-haired guy, looks very similar like me in the Lake Live videos. When I met him, I was 20 and he was 13, and we became best friends. And my parents were like, yo, is this are you cool with like our son's 20 and your son's 13? Is that weird?
Yeah.
They're like, no, like your son doesn't drink. I didn't drink till I was 21.
Really?
And so they were like, your son's actually a great influence. Like he doesn't drinks, and whenever he is hanging out with Rory, our son, like, you know, we know he's on the lake. He's not doing anything. You know, they might be jumping off the boat, doing a little breaking the law like that, but like, you know, they're not like doing anything that's too bad for a kid.
What held you from not drinking until 21?
I think fear. Like my parents, like just growing up, like I was very, my brothers and sisters were like close in age, but my sister's like 5-6 years older than me. So kind of grew up being an only child in that sense, because I didn't have like a younger brother or somebody like a year apart from me. So when I was like growing up, they were already in high school. And so I couldn't really relate to them in that sense. And this is one of those things where I start talking and I forgot where I came from.
I'm saying the no drinking at 21. It's just being fearing of that.
So they were a lot older, and they kind of went through, when they were in high school, getting caught, you know, throwing parties at the house.
So you kind of saw it happen.
I kind of saw what happened. Saw my parents were just, not like any parent. It was just kind of like, you don't do that. Or like, hey, you're grounded. And it was just like, I was so afraid of getting in trouble that I just was a good kid. But my parents also had a deal where, and they made the deal because it was one of those deals they thought we're just going to bide our time before the kid gets into trouble.
Yeah.
So like they were like any parent, like we're going to go through the phase where the kid starts drinking in high school, maybe starts smoking cigarettes. We don't want him to start doing drugs, you know? So what's the best way? Hey, if you don't smoke, do drugs, or drink alcohol by the time you turn 21, we'll buy you a car of your choice. Me, I watch all my brothers and sisters fail, and I'm just sitting there like, yo, like I'm terrified. Like if I got busted for drinking in high school, I'd be afraid to like face my mom and dad because I know I would have been wrong and they would have been right in the situation, but I just didn't want to go through that. And so I kind of was like,
I'm going to prove to them that I can
it was not only like the deal of the car, but it was just the deal of like, I was so terrified of getting in trouble that it was just kind of really easy. It was just like, all right, sweet. I saw like my brother get grounded and like this or whatever. Like, I'm just not going to drink.
Yeah.
never spent money. So then all the money I was making in high school, I just started feeding into a bank account because my dad was like, growing up, he owned a restaurant and very successful. My mom was a nurse, and whenever I was born, they had already gone through the period of struggle, like where they were broke, had 2 kids,
did what they had to do to get by.
Just grinding away. And so whenever I was born, like, they had put in that legwork, put in that time to where, now they aren't struggling. Now we aren't buying generic cereal. Now I'm the one getting the actual Lucky Charms. And my brothers and sisters are like, he's a spoiled brat. And I'm just like, I was just born at the right time.
It helps to be the younger child.
Yeah, but it was like one of those things where like, my dad luckily was smart and was just like, no, like you need to develop a work ethic. You need to, like, if you want money, this is how you earn it. And once I hated, like, I had a terrible work ethic growing up. And so it was just like, I don't want to work for my money. But once I like found like these different avenues, like video, and I like made a video with my friends and I just brought it into my homeroom in high school and put it on. All of a sudden the whole room's like crowded around my computer and the teacher's like, what are you guys doing back there? Like and like kids were like, where can I get this? And I was like, I'll sell you one for $5. Soon as like five kids literally were just like, yo, I'll give you, like, here's $5. And I was like, $25 like that. Whoa. I made $50 like the first day. To somebody in high school in a small town of like 8,000, that was like $1 million. Yeah. It was just like, it literally like what my dad was saying of like, you have to like, if you want money, like you got to earn it. Yeah, I can get you a job at the restaurant, but like, end of the day, like you want money, you want to like buy the sign, you want to buy a computer, like there's no free handouts. Yeah, you gotta. And so once I learned that, and then I saw this like avenue of like, oh, I created a product that people want. It was just like, dude, this is so game over. Simple. Yeah. And like for a while, like it was really easy for me to create because it was just like doing what I love, and then people were just giving me money for it.
And you're like,
and it started in high school. It was like when I made $500 in a week by selling something my friends and I were doing after school.
Just you do that for free anyway. You were gonna make that anyway, regardless.
Exactly. And I saw like that $500. It all made sense to like what my dad was saying. It was just like, I have $500 now. You have no say in how I spend that money. Yeah. And so it was like, to me, it was like, oh, that's the freedom that he's trying to tell me. It's like, if I have this money, it's not like you're rich or do this. It's like you have that freedom to, you know what? Here's this guy that's my friend. He's struggling. It's like, it just allows you.
You make the calls.
It does buy you a freedom. It buys you a freedom of peace, giving, whatever. And so, like, that's the way I look at my money now is, like, tonight. Like, I'm trying to go to this 21 Pilots concert.
Yeah. Yep.
And I got a friend that's, like, dying to go, but he's kind of broke. And I'll probably hit him up later today and be like, yo, you want to go to this concert? Like, it'll be like, dude, I'm broke. And I'll be like, yeah, I got your ticket. But, like, that's the kind of stuff where it's like, I've grinded the last 4 years and like, toured with all these people. And it's like, now that I have a little bit of money, like saved up, I'm not rich by any means. Yeah. I can't like,
but you can
I can't dip out tomorrow. I mean, I could dip out tomorrow, but I would have to be living like kind of like
minimally
in a van,
PB&J,
something but like that. Like you have to be smart with your money. And so like, I feel like I've always been smart. So now like when it gives you like, to be able to give back, that's what I learned from my parents is like, now that I have like some money that I can do something of like, hey, like, is $200 a lot? Yeah, it's a lot. But to scalp a ticket and I know how much this is going to like, what tonight's going to bring me. And I know if like, I like can give like a little bit of that experience to somebody else by like, where they're like, I want to go to this concert, but I can't afford $200. Like, I can't even pay rent. Where it's like, you know what? This is why I make the money because it's like, I know what I'm going to get tonight. Like I'm already getting goosebumps thinking about it. Like if that person gets a little bit of that, then like that $200 is it's
priceless.
I made that money, shooting a concert, something that like didn't feel like work.
Yeah.
I mean, well, at the end of, I can get into that later.
I think, the thing is that I think experiences are priceless, right? Like that's where I think that's where our money is best spent because it's moments like that we're gonna be able to tell stories for the rest of our lives versus do I spend $200 on that t-shirt or jeans? But I think if it's an experience, I think it's almost you have to pull the trigger and do something that if you like 21 Pilots, then do it. You know what I mean? It's a once in a life. Maybe it's a once in a lifetime they're at Forum or they won't be there for a couple of years. But I can always rationalize if it's an experience and it's worth it, and the fact that you're able to kind of pay it forward to the homie that might not be financially in the best spot, that could just be like the biggest change around for him. Maybe he's in the lowest point that this gives him a little spark of inspiration, pulls him away from everything that he has going on, and now he can go out and kind of live. And also the work ethic you were just talking about, I think is super important for success of people. Learning that at a young age, that is what I think ends up being like a game changer as to why people. That's why you are here where you are today, because you learned that work ethic at such a young age. Like, if you want it, go get it. You got to make money yourself. You got to do this shit. Nobody's gonna hand it to you.
Yeah.
I also had read that at a young age you had dreams of being an actor. Is that true? What was the drive in wanting to become an actor? What was that all about?
I mean, I think before I even knew, growing up, I was always into movies. My dad and I we had like a love for dark humor kind of movies, like Tarantino kind of stuff. So my dad and I, like, he would always, like Robert De Niro, Scorsese films, like all those like classics, like Goodfellas, like I watched with my dad.
Incredible.
And it was like one of those things where it's like, you shouldn't be watching this, but it's like, yo,
we're gonna let
if
you,
my dad's let me watch
we're gonna let
this,
you pass
like,
on this, Rory.
And like, I remember, a perfect example is in the one of the opening scenes of the movie Casino with Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. De Niro gets in the car and his car blows up. And I remember seeing that. And whenever, like, earlier this year in January, I did a music video for Chainsmokers called Everybody Hates Me. We blew up a car in there.
The Range Rover,
the Range
right?
Rover,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
represented like a time in our lives, like both of us, because I was like there in the come up when they did like Roses, Don't Let Me Down, Closer. Like, obviously, like Closer has a lyric about a Range Rover, so we wanted to kind of like have a symbolization of like their careers blowing up. And like, not that it was a bad blow up, but like sometimes when you blow up, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen when you put this on the internet. Like, it could change perspective. It could, you never know what you are putting out there when that thing's gonna take off. And like, so like us blowing up that car, it was just like, one, it was like to symbolize like the unknown of like just creating and like, like just following like what, like that fire in your heart. But also just like whenever I blew up, it was like, I remember being like, when I was a kid and like seeing like those movies, or like whenever I got into music videos, and it's like, I want to do that one day. And it's like when that car blew up, it was like, it made me think of like sitting on the couch with my dad, like watching these movies of like, here's something that we have in common together, something that like we're not even discussing, we're just watching. And we both resonate with something. And like, so getting to like blow up a car was like, dude, I made it. I'm in Hollywood.
It was like a moment. It was a
like
moment
you
for
really
you.
are doing it. Like when they shut down this tunnel downtown for 4 hours, it's just like, and you're like walking through there, and like no car's gonna drive and hit me. I can stand in the middle of the road, and it's just like, this is not that you made it, but this is like, oh, this is what I dreamed of when I was a kid, and
it
so,
happens probably pretty quickly too. All that
little too quick.
Yeah, a little too quick. Speeding up a little bit, you ended up going to Indiana University. What was like the game plan going into school? Did you kind of have any idea of what you wanted to do? What did you study?
I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to be in a band. My dad, being the smart guy, like who had been broke, did the hustle, found success, was just like, no, you're going to college. Like, I'm going to pay for it, which, I'm very thankful and lucky to never have that experience of debt. But also like, so I don't know the perspective of debt, but I also know the perspective of not having a debt. And so like that fuels me to work harder to hopefully one day be able to give that to my kids, or to someone who knows, like if I had enough money and like could afford to pay for a friend's college, like I would, because I know what it did for me. It's like, I already have enough stress and anxiety in my life. If I would have had to deal with that, I don't know, might have been the final straw in the fucking thing to, end it all. But so I was very fortunate enough to never have that struggle. So I can't really like have that conversation with somebody, like, because I don't know their perspective of the struggle, but they also don't know my perspective of not having that struggle, but to have a different kind of struggle. And what college taught me was like, I think like I literally just made sense of it the other day, where whether it's his reasoning or not, I think my dad was unknowingly was just kind of like, no, you're going to like, because I was like, oh, I'll go to college, I'm going to go to art school, because I was like at like in school, like painting, like
Yeah.
it was just like I didn't want to go to school. I wanted to make videos. You couldn't make money doing videos the way I did. Like it was just like if I wanted to do videos, I'm probably gonna be running a camera for like a news station, which not
didn't
me.
want- you did not
it was
want to
not
do
me.
that.
I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do video, but not that. And I think like my dad already knew like deep down, like, okay, going to an art school is a waste of time. We already know you like arts. Like you don't need a school to tell you that. Like
Yeah.
I can see that. You like playing music, like you like making videos, you like doing all that art stuff. No sense of paying you to go there like when you already
Are doing you're already doing the stuff.
The only thing I didn't know that I was an artist. My sister gave me this book when I was 19 called The Artist's Way. And the last thing when you're like you don't like you know you're like last thing when you're an artist but don't know you're an artist, you don't want your sister telling you, your older sister being like, you're an artist. And it's just like, oh my God. Like I can just feel my skin crawling.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to do is get into a conversation at 19 with my older sister about being an artist, about being in tune with your feelings. It's like, Katie, chill. Like,
chill out, Katie.
No. We're not talking about
an
this.
artist.
Yeah.
I am
so
an
then
artist.
I was 29, working this job, bringing vodka to my job, like literally just like whatever kind of came my way. I was just like, whatever. I'd already checked out.
Yeah.
And it was just like, hey, like, wow, like, you know, you always wanted to like do something with your life. And here you are, 29. And wow, it was like, I kind of accepted that life's going to suck. And like, this is like, dreams really don't happen. Like, or like, you know, like, and I kind of made peace with it. And I started to become okay with it. And then like shit changed. And then like it took off and it was just like, wow, like, I had a conversation with my boss of the company I worked at for 4.5 years. His name was Eric. He took me out one day and he was just like, in the nicest way possible, he demoted me and basically was like, we both know if you want to, like, you can work here the rest of your life. Like, you know, you hit all the marks. Like, I basically went in and was just like, I did what I had to and left.
Was it easy for you?
Yeah, it was simple. I watched movies 8 hours a day, and that's how the job started. But over the course of the 4 years, I took on different roles of like syncing up subtitles. Basically anything you watch streaming wise, we prepped it and packaged it as if back in the day when you bought a DVD, you know, it had a cover, had artwork, had the extras. We prep all that.
So they give
for
you the
digital.
film.
You get a tape from the studio, like a tape like this. You put it in a VCR, you record it. Then you have a person that sits at a computer, watches it, and you do quality control. So you think you're just watching a movie, but no, you have to watch. You can't blink because if you blink, who knows, maybe that frame has macro blocking. Maybe it has an audio drop. Now you just paid $15 in download. You know, you don't want to be spending time on customer service being, hey, I just spent $15. Your movie doesn't play. Like that's what my job was, to make sure you, the consumer, that's like before like Netflix. I was like, what do you mean streaming? Like I was still like, this is when Netflix was
this
like
is going back.
Remember when Netflix you could rent a DVD?
Yeah,
and
it'd come in the mail.
I was like, this is the greatest service ever. And my boss was like, yo, it's about to happen on your phone. It's about to happen on like your TV, like on your couch. And I'm just like, what? And like this, like I'm glad I had that job because it just kind of showed me like, yo, this guy worked at Apple, helped start the iTunes video store, and was just like, okay, these people want to pay me 80 grand. These people want to pay me 120 grand to leave and go there. I got some sort of value. So he started his own company and like worked in a room this size where he had like, what were the little Macs? Like, the cheapest Mac you could get.
Oh man,
it's like a little box, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, so he had like 6 of those with a monitor and all these little cactuses, things on the desks. So when like Lionsgate or Universal would come in to, you know, how's it going? Whatever.
check
He'd be
on
like, oh, you know, Bobby sits here. He loves cactuses. And he's like, he's got this thing purpose in the youth. He had all these fake people and he was doing all the work himself. But he created this world to where the people that were giving him his work didn't realize, because they'd probably be like, we're not giving you all the work just for you. This is insane.
Yeah.
So he created like a company of like 6 other fake people. And so then he
so this
started
guy was just insane because he just wanted to keep working and working.
He knew what he had and he knew where the market was going, and he just created this business. But it was like the work, he was right. It was adding up so fast that he couldn't
He couldn't get enough people in there
because the people that were working for him didn't really exist.
Yeah.
Because he was doing it all
he
himself.
actually had to do it himself.
So, I got hired for 3 weeks, and then it turns into 2 months, and then it turns into 4.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for people that are listening, you had to speed us up to this point. You had graduated college. You went to Florida for some time. You go back home. Your
Came
dad
out here,
your
wanted
dad
to be an
dragged you
actor,
out, right?
trying to get money so I can, audition, go to that world. And it was...
I'm just super curious, right? So you not to cut you off, you end up getting out here. You start this job, which is just ends up being. It starts as like what I had came across. It was just a starting point. It was like I just moved to LA, needed a way to pay my bills. I got healthcare insurance, full-time job.
I was 25, living in my parents' basement.
Yeah.
I had $2,000 in a shoebox under the bed, and girl just broke up with me. So I was just like,
I need to get out of
me
here.
the fuck out of Indiana. Like, I don't want to be anywhere here. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like, yeah.
So at this job, at what point did you start bringing like vodka into work? Because that's just, it's crazy to think of it, that somebody can get to a point where they're literally drinking their way through the day.
I was 29. I woke up for 4 years every single day at like 6 a.m. And I woke up that early because the job was super relaxed. You did 8 hours, but that's
all
boss
you
didn't care when you came in. And like, I remember when the company got so big that like it became a little corporate. It was like, hey, you have to wear like sleeves. Hey, you have to wear like, you can't wear board shorts in here. It's like, hey, like you can't be taking your shoes off like that. And I'm just like, they're like, hey, you're gonna have to clock in. I'm like, yeah, I ain't clocking in, dude. If we're gonna get to that point, I'm just gonna walk. And so like literally, I was the only person in the company that was just like, yo, like it's like Rory didn't technically work last week. He didn't clock in, and the guy's just like, he's here 40 hours a week. Like just
Write it down.
Just write it down. We're not like
He does what he has to do.
this guy. Like he doesn't need to be working. Like, he shouldn't be working here.
Yeah.
So the fact that we have him, because I remember we were at a Christmas party and he was just like, my goal this year is to find a way to utilize your talents before somebody steals you. And I'm just like, oh my God, that'd be amazing because life sucks. And like, because every now and then he'd be like they'd be like, hey, do you think you could edit something? Like, this is just an idea. And I would make something. They were all like,
Holy shit.
they're like, how are you not getting editing jobs? How are you not getting freelance jobs? I'm like, I don't know. Like, none of that stuff came to me. None of it.
So what were you doing outside of this work environment? You had to have been creating a lot out here.
Making stupid YouTube videos where I pretended like a shit ton of people were watching me. Like, I didn't know how to have like the conversation. So it'd be like, dude, I'm getting all like people always want to know. And it's like, nobody wants to know this. It's like, I'm treating my YouTube as if a billion people are watching it. If I broke 1,000 views at that time, it was a lot.
Yeah.
I knew most of the people watching it were my friends from the lake and like whatever. But it was like, I didn't know how to be like, how do I ask these life questions without... So I'd just be like, oh, I'm just going to pretend somebody asked me this question. So I'd be like, yo, people are always asking, like how to get ahead in life. And so like the advice that I would make sense of how to get ahead in life, I would pretend like it had already worked.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So you were just creating.
I was just like, just trying, like I knew that creating and like videos was something that like made sense in me.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it really was. Like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like and like you don't know who you are, but like there's just something that resonates with you where it's like, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's what like video was for me.
And do you think that because, well, it seems that the lake life videos end up becoming the reason that you got out of that, because that's how you end up getting discovered for...
The lake life videos were kind of like the foundation of like where people... So this guy, Ross Fessenstein, he managed Blau at the time.
Yep.
A lot of people think it's 3 Lau. So now they're
come on,
I know
rookies.
So anyways.
Rookies, Blau.
He saw my videos and it was just like the lake life videos, and he was just like... He saw that I was creating for free for myself, and he was just like, yo, here's somebody that's making stuff because he wants to. It's like, hey, could we pay you $250 to go on tour with Blau like a day for like 5 days or like 6 days? And I was like, $250? I was like, I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, yo, that's like 3 weeks of work. And I was like, holy shit. And like the first day, Blau was just like, yo, I want to take you everywhere. And so he started like, hey, can you go here in July, here in June, like here in
So it
August?
ramped up.
And I was just like, I'm out of vacation days. And I was just like, okay, so if I do this, and if like at the time, like that's right when Instagram introduced like 15-second edited videos.
It was just photos
And, like,
at the time, right? It was just photos.
Photos, and then, yeah. And then
Okay.
it was just like a 15-second video.
Yeah.
Then you could do edited ones. And so like the first day on tour, I like stayed up all night and I was just like, hey, I made this video. Like, what do you think? And he's like, oh my God, can you send this to me right now? I have to post it. He posts it, and at the time, like it got like, like 5,000, 6,000 views, a couple hundred comments, and I'm just like, whoa,
Lights are going off.
Whoa, I was
Lights-
just like, no, like remember like how before I was just like, people are always asking me this. Now people were starting to ask me those questions. Like it was all like really, I was like, whoa, this is so sick. And yeah, so from there it was just kind of like, once I saw like people see my work and like resonate and not like, like as any creative, like you're insecure about what are people going to think of this? Like, cause it's a form of self-expression, it's vulnerability. And like in that moment, like for me, it was like all those times where like I felt alone and like what video did for me. Now people are resonating with it. Now people are like, dude, Bobby, this is the concert I was at last night that I tried to invite you to. Look at this. This is what you missed out on. And I just saw like, that was like where I was like, oh my God, fuck yeah. Like, thank God for social media, because back when I was like really into video, like the only way that you could be successful is if you had like a TV show.
Yeah.
Like to do.
You had to have you had to be on a network. You had to be on a network to be any amount of
Otherwise, you
success.
were like
Nobody.
a guy at the basketball game running a camera.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
And so, the videos I make now, like that kind of job and world didn't exist. And then once social media came, like it was a great thing. But then, then social media became what it is now, to where I think it's just kind of like, I don't know. I think we abuse the idea of social media to the extent of like, people are fucking narcissistic, selfish without even knowing. And it's something that, I don't know. I took a break the other week. I deactivated my account, like took it off, and I just noticed like people were like, "Oh, why don't you just like delete
Actually,
that?"
I noticed that was the
And I literally, it was like the craziest thing was, when you get antsy and like you're just literally shaking and you don't know like
what's
going on
Yeah.
until like you like, wait, what? Oh my God, like, am I going crazy? I literally was like driving and like I was unlocking my thing and my like. There was something
There's
like
nothing to actually click.
Like it's like, what was I just talking about? Like, when your brain goes like that, and it's like, wait,
What is
how did this
going on?
happen? Like, it's like a computer freezing.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking to myself, like, fuck. Okay, where was I going with this?
The internet, social media. He gets on the right. He's about to go. Yeah. So you deactivate the Instagram. Are you like freaking out?
And I noticed literally, like, when you're driving, you're just like on your phone.
Well, I don't do both, but
I do.
Red light.
Okay.
Red light. I'm at a red light. I'll look down.
Not driving. When you're on your phone, and you're
Yes.
just like watching TV, or you're in a conversation, and like somebody's asking you something, but you're so invested.
You're so invested. My roommates
I
hate
kept
me for
unlocking, and my thumb would go straight to the Instagram icon, but it wasn't there, and I'm just like, it literally.
it. Threw you off.
It didn't even throw me off. I didn't know how to function because it was so used to just grabbing the water
And sipping it.
taking a sip and not even missing a beat because you're so used to doing it.
Yeah.
To where it's like, again, like with these 108 episodes, the first ones, it's kind of like, what the? I don't know what I'm doing. This is weird. Now, like, you're in control. You know what's going on. It's like, boom, we're hitting these marks. We're going boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
This is what we need to do. This is the thing.
We're jogging it out. We're jogging it out.
But like, yeah, once, if you took all that out and did something new, it's going to mess you up.
off.
Like, if you had to do this and maybe you came to my house, like,
Yeah.
what we thought,
The anxiety
you're
of
gonna be in
having
a different environment.
Yeah. To set
Where-
everything up. I don't even know the lighting. I don't know who's
you might
gonna
not be
come
comfortable,
out.
so then you might not bring I might be comfortable in that situation, but you might not be comfortable to be able to
execute it.
to get in your flow, to get in your, pull whatever you need to out of me. And I think that's social media is like, whether you want to admit it or not, it's just that it's literally rewiring the way you think.
Yeah.
Unknowingly.
Yeah.
It's
It's a little. It is a little scary.
it got a little scary for me, where it was just like, yo, this whole thing, like video for me, like I got into to like
Share your experiences.
well, just like video is how I figured out who I was. Like just kind of like figure out who I was. I'd make stuff, I would see myself, how I reacted, and it was just like I could create like a little world where coming from a small town feeling trapped didn't exist. You know, feeling isolated where I felt like I was an only child, even though I had older brothers because of the age gap. Yeah. Like that didn't exist. Like video was my escape. It was just kind of like no one could get to me. Yeah. It was my safe place. And then as I found like success in social media, and now it's just kind of like, when's your next video? When's your next video? It's like, dude, I just put out a fucking video like 2 weeks ago and I prepped 2 months to work for. It's like, you just see how fast people consume stuff, and it's just like
they want more.
What the fuck? Like now, like what I used to like create for and like resonate with people, now it's just kind of like, dude, like people have such opinions and it's harsh. It's like you're not taking what it's worth. Now, what video was for me was like this place of escape. Now it's coming this place of like I don't even want to go to because it has what I used to escape from. Yeah. Now is living there because of the way. Nothing against people, because I'm guilty of it too, but it's that sense of where it's like, dude, where's your podcast? I haven't heard a podcast in 2 weeks. The question is that I don't hear. I just hear people are like, God, they want more from me. Now there's this pressure of like, shit, I got to create. Where it's like, dude, you just spent a year and a half working on a TV show. You should go on vacation.
Go live your life.
I don't know that because of the way that we're rewiring ourselves unknowingly is that we're so addicted to consuming, feeling good. It's like, okay, I feel like shit, I'm overweight and I haven't like worked out in 3 months. That's probably why. Yeah. You know, not like, you know, we're programming ourselves to like have that instant gratification and have whatever we want at our fingertips. And it's like, it's my way or the highway. It's like, no, it's not how it works. Like, so I think that we're literally fucking up our brains and rewiring it without even being aware. Definitely. And you know, when a parent's like, you need to be off your phone. You need to be off. It's like, screw you. You don't know what's going on. It's like, they do know because they're 68 and they grew up in a world without it. And now it's like, I think about that and it's like, you know, like why divorce is so big. And like, I look at my parents who have been together over 40 years and it's like, how'd you do? Like, my parents are like, divorce isn't even an option. And so like, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking to myself like, man, it must have been so much easier to get married and stay together back then.
You have no other option.
You didn't know who lived outside of your school. No. Like, you didn't have access to
when you were home at night
30,000 hot girls, a million hot people, guys, whatever you're into. You can only have your imagination. Now, let's say I'm in a relationship. Now you give Instagram, you give it to me. It's like
there's a market.
Man, like you're not like I don't like you. Like this girl is editing everything to where meet her. It's like, holy shit. Like,
this is not the same person.
This is not the same person. Yeah. And I'm guilty of like, you know, only showing the best at times. And like, we all are. Yeah. But it's just like, that's what's fucked with the like the platform. It's like, it's a great thing. It's like, it allowed me to create a career. It allowed me to express it. Like, but it also now it's like, cause you don't know how to use it. It's like, if you give somebody like, perfect example, Percocets. And like the reason they're illegal and prescribed by a doctor is because doctor went to school how many years? Like 7 years. Probably. To like understand how that drug works, how drugs work, how whatever. Like that's why they're licensed to write a prescription. Yeah. And I used Percocet because when I had ACL surgery, like that shit.
That was 2017?
It was 10 months, 10, 11 months ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I knew going into it like that Percocets might be
a problem.
I knew it was going to be a problem. Yeah. It might be the thing that is the end of my life. Like that's where I kind of knew, but the part of me that like, you know, like the devil and the angel thing we were talking about, the part of me that wants to go with the devil where it's just like, you just had ACL surgery. You're going to be in pain. The doctor wrote you a prescription. You're supposed to be taking these drugs. So I didn't feel like I was abusing it because I wish I should be. So, you know, I'm like 1 to 2 pill every 3 to 4 hours. I'm taking 2 pills every 3 hours. So I'm the most quantity, short amount of time. So I'm not abusing the drugs in the sense of, hey, this is what the directions say. Yeah. But I was abusing it in the sense of to where I like, this is what I was comfortable with. And so it took away the pain, but I also noticed it was bringing on these side effects that were just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And but that's like, I forget where I was going with it. It was like the sense of like a doctor, like social media. Like you don't know really what it's doing to you. Whereas like, you know, there hasn't been somebody that studied it for 7 years because it hasn't been around that long.
Still in the early stages.
To where it's like, where somebody's like, oh, whatever, you're crazy. It's not rewiring. It's like, dude, my whole life revolves around that. It's how I make my income. It's like, because I have, you know, nearly 500,000 followers, it's like, why you want me on this podcast? It's why people are listening to me.
It's credibility.
It's the credibility. And it's kind of like, but you have to be smart about it because you don't really know what you're consuming. Yeah. It's like the Percocet. It's like, you don't know what you're consuming, but the fact that now a doctor has wrote you this prescription,
you're know okay that with doing
there is okay. Yeah, exactly. It's like, kind of like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. It's like, if you ask anybody that's just like, if they would be like, if you got them, like, you know, when you get drunk, it's called like a truth serum, like where you just like speak the truth.
Yeah.
I guarantee you 99% of the people, if you ask them if why they're feeling depressed, if like you got to the root of it, I guarantee it's because it's not, and it's, I think social media is an amazing thing, but when you abuse it, like you do, like
too much consumption,
Percocet, like even though it's like the doctor was, everything I was doing was legal, I was still abusing it. Just kind of like, you have the option to log in your email, get on social media anytime you want. And it's like, you know, you don't have that parent saying like, hey, you only get 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
And it's like, back then, like as a kid, you're like, screw you, mom and dad. Like, I hate you. And it's like, you don't know. They're playing the doctor, basically giving like the prescription to the social media. Kind of like how the doctor gave me a prescription of the Percocet.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course,
you have
every single kid that's monitored like that is abusing it. You know, my nephew's like hiding, playing on his iPad, so his parents don't know that he's still on it. And he gets caught. Of course, he's gonna like. He knows he's wrong. He knows he's doing the. So it's. I don't know.
It is tough. You have to balance it. I've gotten very good.
Yeah, exactly. It's a balance.
Big balance.
Understanding.
I've gotten very good in probably the last 6 months of being a huge producer on social media, but not a big consumption person. So I post a lot. Dude. Instagram stories. I'm like documenting my day, but I get out of there as soon as possible because the moment I start scrolling, it just pulls me. It gets me distracted from what I'm trying to do. Black hole. And then I'm comparing myself to other people, what they're doing, traveling around the world, they're collaborating with all these other people. I've gotten so much better, and I talk about it so much in these podcasts, and I just hope that people actually aren't just listening, but they're actually incorporating into their life because it makes a difference. You can focus on creating the best thing that you want to create because you're not worried about what everyone else is going to think. You're just creating what you have in front of you today. You don't know what's going on in the social media world that's connected all the hours of the day. You're just working on what you got, being present. You said something earlier, and something that I had seen you had talked about with Steve Aoki, which was really dope in the Dare to Live episode. Like, super, super, super important of being present. Like, stop. It's so easy to think about, oh man, yesterday I had all this bullshit happen. Fuck, tomorrow I got to do all this. No. Just stop thinking about everything else that's happening around you and literally just focus on what you're in right now. And that's why in the beginning I'd stated, like, I'm not worried about the past 107 guests or 100 or 3 group episodes I've done. I'm focused on this one today, not because you're Rory Kramer with 500,000 Instagrammers, because you're the person sitting across from me today, and I want to make this the best conversation possible because presently this is what we have in front of you. And that is just... It's important. It's important for people to cut off the social media, and I could literally just rant about it.
No, it's tough. I mean, like somebody that's like where I'm on it every day, like as a business, like, you know, like I try to explain to my parents, I was like my personal life is like now
keeping it up to date.
It's my business. It's how I make money, you know?
Yeah.
Me goofing around and like annoying you, mom. Like, people actually respond like that. You're one of the most things that gets replies to because they see that I'm showing a love to my mother and like being an actual good person.
Yeah.
How people are supposed to be. And I was like, you're actually, mom, you're like bringing out the real in me. And like, just the way that you're reacting is just so innocent and real. And I was like, people are relating that because they've seen so much, you know, bullshit on social media where it's like, this ain't real.
Yeah.
And
it's important to be authentic.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough though. It's very tough.
How did it feel to be part of Avicii's The Night music video? It was pretty much your story told within the music, and I know that's only have probably gotten more meaningful to you now after his passing, but at the time, thinking back, How important was being part of that music video?
I mean, it changed my life for sure. It was, but it was always something I was like, I remember I got this email from the guy, Nick Furlong, that wrote this song with Avicii, Tim. So he wrote like the lyrics to whatever, and then Avicii wrote like the music. Like, I don't need to get into that, whatever.
Yeah.
So anyways, the guy that was like working on the song, like this is why I didn't like, it seemed weird because I was like, it wasn't Avicii directly hitting me up. It was the guy that was singing on the song. It was like, yo, got this song with Avicii coming out. And I'm just like, this is about two and a half months after I quit my job. I quit my job June 1st of my birthday when I turned 30. And then literally maybe like September-ish, I get a random email that has nothing to do with the work I've done with Cruella, Martin Garrix, and Blau.
Yeah.
Total separate. The work I did with Cruella had nothing to do with Blau. The work I did with Blau had nothing to do with Cruella. It was weird that I was getting into this scene 3 different ways that were like unconnected. Like a lot of people thought like, oh, did Cruella lead to Blau's? Or did Blau lead to Cruella? I was like, no, like this relationship I made on my own that had, like Avicii's team had no idea that I was even in the scene. And so like when it came time to negotiate, and like luckily I hit up one of my friends to kind of like
help you out with it.
Kind of be like, I was like, I'll do this for free. Like he's like, you should be getting paid, but he's like, I agree with you. Like this is like, it's like one of those opportunities where it's like, you know, it has a lot of value, but like just by doing it, has more value than the money will ever show you in return. Yeah. So I was just like, cool. Like I'm 100% comfortable giving this to them for free. Yeah. But my buddy was like, you know, like if they offered me X amount of dollars, he's like, ask them double. I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. And it was like, now when I go back, like I made $5,000 for that video. They offered me $2,500. At the time, it was like, it's not about the money, but it was like where my friend taught me, you know, this video you made them is worth
so much more.
Millions of dollars. $2,500, you can ask for $5,000. It'll teach you that, you know,
ask for more.
It'll teach the, like, it's just that practice of I have a worth and I'm standing for it. Even though this is Avicii, even though this is like a huge opportunity, you still have to put like some sort of like ground. Even like I could have easily gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars for that video if like given the, like what that video is worth. But versus like where I just saw like, here's this opportunity. I'm doing what I love. When I got that song and I heard it, I was like, okay. Because like when the guy sent it to me, he's like, yo, I'm singing on this new Avicii song. I'm just like, and he goes, I attached it. I love your work. I think like, you know, you were like, this song was like made for you. And like, I listened to it and I was just like, kind of sounds like Avicii. I was like, because I didn't know. Because like, I don't know. I
think it could be.
This is before like my career blew up in the sense of like, now people are always hitting me up. It was just like, this is the email like you dream of getting. And it was just like, who's fucking with me? Like,
let's like, just like, come on. Right after you graduate, right after you had quit the job, like it's just too good to be true.
It was too good to be true. Yeah. And so I'm sitting in this parking lot, like pretty tipsy, reading this email, like up in Santa Barbara, Blau's running in to buy alcohol for this concert, and I was just literally like, I'm not gonna get my hopes up, dude. I've done this too many times. I was supposed to be on an episode of Fantasy Factory with Rob Dyrdek, impersonating him. I thought that was gonna be my big break and stuff. Like, come on now. Like, anyways, so like I've had where you're like, I got my hopes up before, and then they're like, hey, we're actually not gonna shoot that episode, and it was like I was crushed, and so I was just like, not gonna do that again. I'm not like, until that video's on his Vivo, like I'm not gonna celebrate. I'm not gonna talk about it. You know, it's like, so once that video came out, it was like that. Remember how it was like, you were like, you want to get into acting? Like, I always wanted to be in the arts, but I loved entertaining. I loved being a personality. And I mean, that's why I got into video. I was huge into Jackass at the time. I was huge into Blink-182. They had these tour videos that showed their personality, why I actually liked them. Not just the music, but it was also like
the personality.
Yo, these guys are funny. Yeah. And so like I saw the skits they were doing, and like that's what like got me into video. But time number like 10 or 11 where I forget where I was going with the
Avicii. Like the takeaway from just being a part of it.
And so yeah, just like when that video came out, it was like now kids in Asia are DMing me. Kids in Brazil are DMing me, and I was like, dude, I was trying to just have somebody outside of my hometown watch my video. 1 million views in a week. 10 million views in a month. Like I was like, I literally made peace with myself at that time. I was like, you'll never make a video this big again. Like when it hit 100 million views, I was like,
this is the one.
I was like,
this is the one.
I was like, I can't be mad if I never make a video with this many views. I was like, this is like,
especially because it's you. It's not just
it
your
was
creation.
literally like making it.
But
was
it's
just
like,
holy shit.
Yeah,
like,
this is like
I was like, people,
your family.
I was like, all
everything.
those times where like, people are not seeing my videos, I was like, it was just a matter of time.
Yeah.
People are seeing the shit. Like it's not any different. I would have still made this same video if I heard this song. Because I'd already use Avicii's music in my personal videos.
Yeah.
For free, for fun. And so like whenever like this came about, it was like
a no-brainer.
It was the easiest thing I ever made. I like getting to actually making the edits and stuff.
Yeah.
Was another story for another day. Like almost.
Yeah.
Not being able to do it. But I mean, we can get into that. That was one of the times in my life where I heavily contemplated suicide. And it was because I had this fear and this pressure of failing. And it was like I knew that this was like the one, like this was like
the opportunity.
Like Blah was sick, Krell was sick. Avicii was like another level.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like everybody knew Avicii.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to like, well, I mean, my parents had to explain it to him, but like
Everybody
kids
knows.
our age would be like, Avicii?
Yeah.
He was God of the dance, or just music. Like, you know, this is a guy that writes Levels, blows up. Now he writes Wake Me Up, and people are like, this is weird, folk. Now it's the biggest song. The guy knew what he was doing. And it was like, I was like, I'm getting goosebumps. I was like, this is my shot.
Yeah.
But the way I work, like I have this invisible thing of like pressure where I just manifest, you know, like you're capable of like, if you wake up every day and like believe something, like it can't happen.
Obsessed. Yeah.
Well, like
obsessed
I
with
was
that.
like, I'm going to fail. Like this, I'm never going to get this
devil-
opportunity again.
the devil in you.
I'm going to work a 9 to 5 the rest of my life. I'm going to hate my life. Might as well just end it now. I can't do another 4.5 years of what I did before. That was prison to me. Like I wanted to die every single day. That's why I brought vodka. It's because I wasn't taking the action. And so since I hadn't been taking the action so long in my life, it's kind of like what I was saying, like the social media, it's rewiring you. I didn't know that this 9 to 5 was rewiring me into like having these thoughts of killing myself. So now here I am with the biggest opportunity in my life, something should be bringing me joy. Now I'm thinking about putting a belt around my neck and hanging it from the door. Like it was like, what the fuck was going through my head? Like why? Like why are these thoughts creeping in? It's because for so long you have such an unhealthy mindset and like you're mentally unhealthy, but you're unaware of it because you have your thoughts every single day. It's like, you ever have a conversation where somebody's like, they're talking about their insecurities and just like, especially a girl, like, or for this situation, if a girl is talking to a guy, for me, I'm attracted to women. So there's times where a girl will be talking about her insecurities and I'm like, what the heck?
Are you crazy?
You want to smack her outside the head.
Yeah.
But then you think about it, it's like, oh, I have no idea what it's like to be, I've lived with my thoughts for 34 years. At the end of the day, you can't really relate. You can relate, but you can't fully know what it's like to have my thoughts.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like. I thought there was a mirror back here. You don't know what it's like to look in the mirror every single day and like your brain slowly, because of the way like you've been unhealthy mentally, maybe you do have like, because I think everybody does have like anxiety, depression to some extent.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody in your family dies, of course, that's depression that you can't control.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck. See, I'm
Depression, Avicii, the low point, suicide.
So I think what happened was just like I was so, just because of the way I was like needing that moment so much for my life.
You were scared that you were going to fail.
If I failed,
Yeah.
that I would never get it again. And so instead of like, when I was making those videos all the time, like instead of like building like this mindset to whenever I got the opportunity that I would crush it, I was creating video because trying to fix something inside of me. So when I got the opportunity, like I was still trying to fix this hole inside of me instead of understanding that this hole inside of me was an outlet for that. And so the thing that usually like anxiety is like something for me, like when I see it flare up, it's because I care.
Yeah.
And so it's like, ooh, instead of like recognizing this anxiety, it's like, why am I feeling crazy? Why do I want to put a belt around my neck? Why do I want to end my life? Why? Like that kind of stuff comes up, and it's like that should be the thing that's like the trigger of your anxiety that's telling you, whoa, okay, how do I take this anxiety, put it into like form it into a weapon and fucking destroy this project?
Yeah.
Instead of letting this anxiety consume me and destroy my life. Where it's like, you got to understand and recognize, like, that's why I talk about fear and run it, is because when you can recognize the fear that like stems in anxiety or depression, like if you can figure out the root of it and like be on top of it right at the start, like, so if I'm nervous and I'm like antsy about this interview, it's like, why? Like, okay, why? Why am I antsy? Is it because I have a 21 Pilots concert that I want to go to later? No, it might be because I haven't slept. I haven't had enough water. Like you have to literally listen to like, okay, I've been anxious like this all the time. Okay, obviously it didn't work in the past. What can I change?
What's stemming this?
Oh, it's because I had 4 cups of coffee. I haven't ate yet today. It's like I haven't had enough water. I haven't gone to the bathroom. I haven't slept in 2 days.
Yeah.
No wonder I'm getting a little crazy. And so now when this little bit of anxiety comes in, if I'm not prepared for it mentally, it can consume me. It can destroy me. Versus like now it's like, cool, it's 1 a.m. I need, a solid night of sleep. I can't be getting up at 7 expecting to go straight into making videos and being in a creative mindset, because that's how I work. Don't sleep. It's like my brain's always thinking, I need to make something, I need to make something, I need to make something. I need to make sense of these thoughts in my head. That's what it really is. So it's like you have to listen to yourself, and now I'm actually forcing myself to sleep. So it's like if I go to bed at 4 a.m, I know that I'm not waking up before 12 or 1.
Yeah.
But I'm being okay with that. When I go to, because before I would go to bed and I would be like, it's 4 a.m. Shit. Like I need to be productive tomorrow, because if not, like all this I work for, I feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, it's like I've worked hard. I've worked hard enough that I can be up at 4 a.m. And I'm going to bed. I've worked hard enough that I don't have to be up tomorrow at 9, not like 6 a.m. like all these other people that didn't put in their time.
Yeah.
I put in the time.
Yeah.
So now I can like actually get the 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Because I've given myself that. So now when I've slept and I wake up at 12 or 1, I'm not feeling, oh, you're such a piece of shit. You're behind. You're like 5 hours behind because you should have been up at 8. Now it's 1. Like, what do I do? Okay, I don't know if I should do laundry, if I should just go straight into editing. Like the brain literally is so powerful. Like you don't know that. Like if you weren't like literally, like the same thing as exercise. Like you're not gonna like lose shape, get in like you're not gonna have your summer beach body if you don't put in the time and the work. It's just like you're not gonna have clear thoughts. Like if you don't have the balance, if you don't read, if you don't like do shit, all the shit that you don't want to do, that's like hard work. That's why it's hard work, because it's discipline. And it's like I can sit here and preach about it, but I can also say I'm very much guilty of expecting something and not have put in the work. Yeah.
The thing is that it's super important. I'm obsessed with like operating at our full potential. And it's like, that's what you need. You need to feed yourself the right foods. You need to get those 8 hours of sleep. You need to make sure that you're getting outside and feeling the sun or being active. It's like, those are the little things that help you actually work even more effectively, because you've had that time. You've invested the time in yourself. You have to make sure the core of Rory is at its highest potential, so that when you do sit down to edit, you're ready to go and you're actually ready to get into it.
One of the biggest things I learned from my last relationship, my ex-girlfriend, and hopefully this is taken the right way, because I feel like I'm gonna give her a compliment. I learned the thing I learned most about that relationship was, apparently I didn't learn anything because I can't remember it now. No. What I learned was from her, we get all these stupid little fights, and it's like, at the end of the day, like, let's cut the bullshit.
Yeah.
It takes 2 to tango.
Yeah.
I'm just as much of the problem as you are.
Yeah.
So, and that's what as I get older, you come to accept, and you realize, it's not all their fault.
Yeah.
It's just as much mine as theirs. But what I learned was, like, we get in these stupid little fights. And it was like, okay, I know for a fact that I'm being my normal self. Okay, let's say it is her fault. What could it be? Oh, she has an 8. She gets cranky.
Yeah.
And not saying her. But me too.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, you got to treat. It's like, oh, you got to treat everybody like a baby. Where it's like, when a kid's crying, it's like, okay, what are they crying? Oh, it's because they didn't get their way. They just want their iPad.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, they're crying because they have been up all night. They need sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, they haven't ate all day. So you just got to learn of like, she taught me not about her, but about a person and about like, oh, if something's off and it's like, dude, I've been best friends with like this guy for like 20 years and now he's being a dick. And it's like,
there's something underlying there. There's something underlying.
Have to, it's just, again, like what I was saying, if you can find the root of it.
Yes.
And it's like, what I learned from her was, if something doesn't make sense and I see myself getting angry, it's like, okay, let's back up.
Yeah.
Let's treat this person like a baby. Okay, I don't know this person. It's like, okay, maybe this person hasn't ate. And like you just start to look at their patterns and it's like, oh, that pattern's affecting me because maybe they haven't ate. Maybe I haven't ate. Yeah. Now I see myself getting cranky.
Yeah. I always try to dig deeper into people and think that there's maybe it's not them or it's not me. It could be them and there's something underlying that you have to kind of dig into. Justin Bieber. You end up shooting Company, and I'll show you music video. You worked with him for a year religiously. I had read in an interview you had said that you got to see the side that not many people get to see. When there's no 50,000 people in the crowd, the cameras aren't rolling, it was just you guys hanging out. What was the side that you got to see?
Dude, I saw a side like it breaks my heart to like see how much people praise him, how much people like try to like. It must be it's exhausting being me. I can't imagine being somebody that has like 100 million followers and like literally everywhere you go, somebody's following you, whether it's paparazzi or like a fan. It's just like, dude, like I get that I'm Justin Bieber and like I have a voice that I can fucking sing.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, puts on the same, like, we're just people.
Yeah.
And so like what I saw like that broke my heart was just like, we went to Subway and like his security was like, yo, like there's like 20 paparazzi, like do you want to get out? And he's like, no, can you just get me a sandwich? And I'm just like, what the fuck is so cool about this guy going to Subway? Like maybe is Justin Bieber an actual alien from another like planet? Like like if that's the case, like if he's a real alien, okay, now
pull up the paparazzi.
I am interested. Why is he going to Subway? But he's not. He's a human being. Like the guy, if he's sitting here singing in the room, oh, you should be praising him because like that's his gift to the world. The fact that he's going to Subway, that's not his gift to the world. He's a fucking human being trying to get food. Like what's so cool about that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just kind of blew my mind. But like, so I got to like have these conversations like,
yeah, because you guys are traveling. You guys travel like, a lot, so it's just you guys.
So I got to have conversations being around him when he wasn't around that. And I saw what it did to him. I saw how it was just like, it was like, you got to treat people like a baby.
Yeah.
Like what I was saying?
Yeah.
I was just like.
You were trying to pull out the root of it.
I didn't know this guy that well yet, but I knew like enough that this guy, one of the most famous people, like the only reason I'm getting the job is because I had people vouch for me that was like, yo, like Rory started shooting with Martin. Now they're like good friends. They didn't give a shit how good I was like at filming. They wanted somebody that Justin didn't get sick of.
Yeah.
And the reason he's getting sick of people, from my perspective, is that people want something from him every second, where there's nothing wrong with wanting that every second, but they're wanting the idea of him, not verse what you actually love about him, his voice, his dancing, like him being an entertainer, not being the guy that woke up, got in a car, is going to Subway. Yeah. But like those opportunities, I would always like, you'd see that whether he knew it bothered him, I could see like, this guy can't be a what I have the freedom of doing.
I can't even imagine.
So I'd be like, yo, give me your coat. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, just watch this. So I would throw the coat over me. I'd get out of the car and bolt in. So it's like, they're like, oh, Justin, what's up? Oh my God. Like, and so he's sitting in the car and like,
he's loving it.
So now like, this is something like that he used to hate and fear. And it's like, dude. And now he's like,
I can't wait. Send him in.
Rory just fooled everyone. He rolls down the window. He's like, hey guys. And they're like, oh man. So now instead of like Justin Bieber goes to Subway, it's like Justin Bieber tricks paparazzi.
Yeah.
Like they still run a story about it.
Yeah.
And it's just like
anything he does.
So then it was like, that's where it was like, okay, these people are like, they really think this is interesting. Let's just fuck with them.
Yeah.
So like we would like do things like we get out of the car and we'd just hold a pose like this until like we'd just like walk like this until we got into the place. Yeah. Where these people are like, wait, what's going on? Yeah. And all the people that are looking at it, it's like you're making fun of people.
Yeah.
You're just making fun of the whole situation and whatnot. But yeah, like I mean the guy's a solid dude. Like the guy literally came to my parents' house because he saw one of the Lake Life videos. Yeah. Like what literally like basically like made my career. Like, you know, like those videos just it showed my true colors, real person, like who I was.
Yeah.
Not because of I was getting paid. It was just like, this is how I make sense of the chaos in my head.
And it says a lot about you, the fact that he even did go out to be a part of the Lake Life videos and actually visit your hometown, because that's when it becomes no longer are you a paid service for him to help him shoot music videos, tour around the country, whatever. It's like now he's tapping into your personal life and wanting to spend the time, because somebody like that, he could be anywhere in the world. I mean, I can only imagine what the travel pattern for somebody like that, of that scale, is when he's in that full motion of album releases and touring and all that. The fact that he's even taking the time to come out and to hang out with you guys, it speaks loudly about clearly the relationship and the conversations that you guys were having in between those cities. And it's just super cool that I can't imagine being somebody of that size and not being able to go to a Subway or not being able to just go for a walk around the block. And he probably has to have security with him all hours of the day, because you don't know who's going to be crazy enough to try to jump him or to do some stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, he probably knows more about me than some of my closest friends, some of like even my family. Yeah, like that stuff. Like we've had like, because he's just somebody like I know I can trust because of what I've seen him go through.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, there's times where I'm just having a bad day, and it's like it goes back to that Avicii thing. It's like sometimes my thoughts, when they get dark, they go real dark.
Yeah.
And like there's been on occasion 2 times where like, you know, you just call like a friend, like just trying to like get out of that mood.
Yeah.
2 times where he like picked up the FaceTime and like knew there was something off about me and was just like, yo, come over. Like you're not gonna be alone. Like I think he just saw, maybe he saw something in himself in me, or he just saw that like, yo, this guy, and I'm dealing with a fraction of what this guy deals with.
Yeah.
And so we just got each other in that sense of just like, oh, like Rory's not a threat with the camera. Rory is actually my friend. Rory, if he had his way, like he wouldn't pull the camera out of the bag.
Yeah.
We'd just hang out and talk.
Yeah.
But like, this is what I am paying him for.
Yeah.
But I do trust him. So that's why I was able to get like crazy shit on the camera, and the stuff that I didn't turn my camera on would blow your mind.
Yeah.
Like if the stuff I told you in the stories, if I didn't sign a $5 million like contract, I didn't get paid $5 million, they can sue me up to $5 million if I say anything that damages his image.
Yeah.
$10 million contract with Kanye West
to
shoot him one night for free. So it's like, but the thing is, I'm not the kind of person that's going to go around telling this or that or story. Like, you know, this, I signed something where it's like, I have the perspective and like the knowledge to know I can share this story right now without having to check with my lawyer, because I know in my heart that like it's for the right reasons, and I'm telling something that will only change people's perspective into a good way. Like one of my favorite things, like I'd get on a plane, whip out my laptop, sitting in coach, start editing. Obviously you're just going to I look at the person, what they're watching.
Yeah.
It's like, let alone a laptop.
Yeah.
And now I'm like
cooking up.
Yeah. I'm cooking up something. I'm like, literally, I remember editing like on a flight from New York to LA, like a recap for Bieber, like
oh my God.
Barclays. It was like a 60-second video, but I'm just like going into town doing my thing, and this lady's just kind of like, sorry, I hate, like, what do you do? Like, you know, this is interesting. I was like, oh, I work for Justin Bieber. It's like, oh, I fucking hate that guy. And I'm just like, how long do we have? How long is the flight? 5.5 hours? Oh, you're going to hate that fucking middle seat Ori more than you do.
Oh my God.
Like, let me tell you a little about Justin Bieber. I was like, oh, so yeah, he came to my parents' house. Like, you start telling them these stories, and they're just like, oh my God, I love this guy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like, that's what social media does. It's like these people following somebody like to go to Subway, and then, you know, when they get out of the car and like they're upset, like they're just dude, I don't want to deal with somebody following me, and they react.
Yeah.
Now people think you're an
Now they
asshole.
blow
It's
it
like,
up. Yeah.
bro, like nobody should have to deal with that
Yeah.
fucking shit. It's bullshit.
Yeah. That's amazing though. Justin Bieber, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. And a little bit, and you got to shoot Kanye West too.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Kanye, man. That guy within 15 seconds, like, put my world upside down. Like, so Scooter Braun, I was
Big names.
I was
We're getting
literally
some big
out
names.
partying one night with when I was in Toronto with Chainsmokers, and I ran into Martin Garrix, and at the time he was managed by Scooter Braun. I'm managed by Scooter Braun and Michael George at Scooter Braun Projects. And at the time, like, I just sent a picture of Martin and I to Scooter, and Scooter's like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "I'm with Martin." He's like, "Where?" Because he knew Martin's schedule.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you in Toronto?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm with Chainsmokers." Just ran into him. He goes, "Can you stay tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got nothing." Like, why? What's up? He's like, "Could you shoot Kanye?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, like, switch your flight, rebook the hotel, just send us like invoice." You know, I'm not even like, "Hey, am I getting my full day rate for this?" It's like, it's Kanye West. This one's on the house.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you know when to ask for money, when not to. I was like, I love Kanye, and now I'm gonna actually get to meet him and like see if all these things that people are saying are true.
Yeah.
Now I get to have like, you know, it's the same thing with Bieber. And so Scooter calls me. He's like, "Yo, come down we're down in the restaurant. We're having dinner. Come down, bring your laptop, and I want to have you show some stuff. You know, it's gonna be me, you, and Kanye." So I'm coming down there like, whoa. Like, I'm going through all my like final videos. I'm like, okay, so we're shooting a video, like a concert. So I need to show him that kind of stuff. You don't need to show him music videos. I get like this. Got it all. I'm like, boom. You know, I always shoot for Chainsmokers, Bieber. I got an MTV show in the works. I don't need to work with Kanye West. So like the idea of pressure, I've
gone.
It's
gone.
I've erased it. So now I'm like, I'm gonna shoot with the glide cam, this lens for this song. I'll pop out there. You'd probably be out there for like 10 to 15 minutes. I'll get this coverage. It's gonna be sick. No one's ever gonna see Kanye West like this. Boom, killed it.
Yeah.
Show Kanye the first video. It's Chainsmokers in Hungary, or how do you say it? Hungary? Hungary.
I don't know.
Okay.
Never been there.
Being very cautious of your country's name.
Yeah.
I don't want to pronounce it
Yes.
wrong. Anyways, so that's where we were. Show him this recap, and I'm like, this thing is, the whole video, it's on point. Dial. He's watching. He's like, "Yo, this is tight. It's a little too on point though. It's like too crisp. It's like too perfect." And I'm just like, "Wait, what?" Like, now all that pressure is about to come back in. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what camera do I take? Like, freaking out.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Yo, I'm into that raw look, that VHS look." So I listened to what he was saying, and as he's saying this, he's like, "Yo, dope Vans, this mismatch look, that's cool." Like, literally, he was so quick and like aware of everything that was happening that I was like, okay. He basically complimented my work, said it was dope, but it wasn't for him. So I was like, okay. So then I was like, oh, this is gonna be even easier. I don't have to get, like, he doesn't give a shit if this looks good. Like, he has his look.
Yeah.
I can purposely try to make the worst video. That's what he's looking for.
Yeah.
He's looking for something raw, authentic. And I made this piece. It never came out, but like all my friends that have seen it, they're like, "Dude, this is your best work." And then again, I have a video after that I made with Bieber, like sometime in the spring down in Laguna. We made this video. Again, my buddy, same people that saw the Kanye video see this and like, "Bro, how do you have a video of Justin Bieber saying this? Like, how'd you convince him?" I was like, "No, you just called me and like we went down there and we were talking and we just made this video in 45 minutes. Probably won't ever come out, and it's probably one of those videos that's like, I don't know,
You're one of your favorites?
yeah, it's because what he's saying is so authentic, and it's just like,
It's unbelievable.
yeah, and like all Bieber's fans that are watching this, like,
They're going crazy.
at
They're
the
like,
they're gonna be like commenting on there, like, "Dude, I need this video. I need this." Like,
no. Some things
I
you don't
would
get.
love to give you the video.
Yeah, but that's the beauty, right? Is that,
Yeah.
especially when you build that credibility and you've built a career, you don't have to continue to give people, even if they might want it.
Well, it's just like, did you see those photos from like Laguna where Bieber was like shirtless, holding his like arms out?
Yeah.
So those photos I took during the time that I shot this video that we worked on, and that I know the video's good. One, because it resonates with me. Also, because people said stuff, but also like I sent him those photos and he posted them, and at that time he hadn't it had been a long time since he had like professional photos taken. The guy's notorious for just finding like paparazzi. He doesn't care.
I love it.
What is
it doesn't
to care,
matter.
you know?
There's no point. Yeah,
there's no like for him. It's like, I don't need like my Instagram to have a certain look and like color palette, like whatever. Like the guy's just like, I like posting it, I'm gonna post it.
Yeah.
So he hadn't posted something high quality that was like, you know, professional, whatever. And so I give him these photos and he posts them. Over 6 million likes, his most liked stuff. Every People magazine, are running articles. Bieber holds Christ-like pose, shirtless. Like, and it was like, I saw like the good it was doing for him. People were like associating it with like religion. And it's like just like all positive stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've seen what the internet and things have done to him before, and like and I was like, oh,
you're happy that
I wish I. If this picture is painting this picture for you,
what this video
imagine
would do.
this video could like. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It's literally, he says just the most authentic, raw stuff, and it's like.
But we'll never see it. Maybe
when he does his
Bieber
next
hits that green
documentary.
light.
If he does his next documentary, I've always wanted it to be like the opening or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty powerful just because it's someone that well known and recognizable.
Yeah.
Saying something that we all feel, you know, or have definitely crossed our minds. Where it's just like something everybody will relate to.
Yeah.
Where it's like, in that sense of like, oh, I'll never know what it's like to be this person or Justin Bieber or whatever. It's like in that video, it's like, oh, I will never feel like them, but this person's felt like me before. Where you might not be able to relate to, you know, sold out concerts, whatever, this, that, people following you, but
the realness
you relate to, because you take away all this facade
and
you bring it down to you're breathing, I'm breathing, we're just trying to survive. You know, it all makes sense.
Yeah. Talking to me about Chainsmokers. Pretty amazing. We had both Jeremiah and Como on the podcast before because you had done the Closer lyric video, which is at 2.1 billion views, which is incredible. Both Jeremiah and Como were part of that. Did you what was going through your head when you were making this video? Because I would imagine you were just making a video. There's no way you knew it was going to be 2.1. And I've talked to both of them on the podcast. I've talked to them both about this video, so I'm finally stoked that I get the director and the creator behind it.
Sitting here
looking at them.
You know, again, I don't want to take credit for careers.
You guys also, I don't know if you were with them.
No. So this is like, it's funny you mentioned that because it's a perfect example of what's great about social media. And when using the right way and consumed the right way, it's amazing. So I met Jeremiah first. I think I might have just known who Matt was through social media and through like him working at GoPro. I had connects at GoPro, so just knew of him. Never really talked to him, worked with him, whatever. Jeremiah was one of those kids that just DM me that, you know, get all these messages. I do go through, I'd say about 90% of my messages.
Yeah.
On Instagram, when you go to the message, you can accept or decline.
Yeah.
I do try to read all of them.
Yeah.
If it does pertain to something that's like, not like, can I get tickets?
Yeah.
Can you send this to Chainsmokers? Can I work with you?
Ask.
Yeah, it's stuff that like, it's just like, okay, you want to work with me? Like, show me. So this kid, Jeremiah, he's like, dude, like, your Bieber video is sick. I probably saw it, but I didn't respond to it because it's like,
what are you supposed to say to that?
Thank you, but you know, 100,000 people have said this video's sick. Like, so not that I don't appreciate it. It's just you've heard it before. It doesn't resonate anymore. So then, and I know this because of his perspective. He's like, yeah, I sent this message, you didn't respond. I can go back in there and read it, but at the time I was just like, I don't have time for this. I'm trying to
do other things,
live my own life.
Yeah.
So then he responds again, like another time where he's just like, hey, like I noticed you don't have much drone in your stuff. Just offering how he could help me.
Yep.
And I was just like, I looked at the video he sent. I was like, this is tight. I was like, I know I would kill a drone, but the drones back then were just not as
what they are today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like basically if I took it up, that $1,000 might not be coming back. That's the way I would look at drones. So I was just like, I would rather have that anxiety, stress, pressure, that
somebody
world,
that knows what they're doing.
Just, you know what? I don't mind having you come fly. So I was just like, all right, cool. what are you doing tomorrow? He's like, nothing. I was like, cool. There's a spot in Malibu that I always like, favorite spot. You want to hit it for sunrise? I go, I think it'd be crazy to have this drone shot. We shoot this drone stuff. Ends up being like one of the best drone shots. It was like, remember Dreams Die When You Wake Up, where I'm walking across this spine, and it's like one of the opening shots. It's a very like, basically it's this peak that I'm walking on. It's like an A-frame house. Like if you go either way, you're, if not dying, you're going to be seriously fucked up. And so I'm walking across that, no big deal. And this drone shot was sick. And so I was just like, boom. So that led into, anytime I need drone work, you're my guy.
Yeah. Then
Then it turned into, so when we did the Closer video, I needed somebody to fly drone. I had this idea for a lyric video. Boom. I don't want to fly. I just want, I had the vision. I just want to see it executed. I want to direct. I want to tell this. And so I hit him up, got him that opportunity. Something where he reached out, offered me free services. Now, he didn't get paid for this because the budget of that lyric video was shit.
Yeah.
And, but the Chainsmokers weren't who they are yet.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't get much of a budget, and it was just like, because it wasn't much of a budget, I almost didn't do that video because I had a day and a half off between one tour and then hopping back on Bieber's tour. And I was just like, I don't get, it's like that. Remember like about that conversation as a baby where it's like, I wasn't getting sleep. And I was just like, this is a day and a half where I can chill on the couch. Wow. Recharge and then go back out on tour with Bieber and do it all over again. I was like, the only, like, cause the money wasn't worth my time.
Yeah.
Like that's where it ain't about the money. I don't give two shits. The only reason I did the video is because I was friends with Drew, and Drew sent me the song 6 months before it came out and was just like, yo, like, hey, like this is my first time singing on a song. Like, could you he didn't know. Like it was just like every kid in their bedroom just like, hey, I made something. What do you think? Showing their friends. But it's like he had already found success. Now he's trying to get into singing. He's like, what do you think? And I'm just like, this is my boy. If I was in the position, I would want him to support me. So I was like, I'm going to do the video regardless of what. It's not worth my day and a half off that this is my first free time that I've gotten in the last 2-3 months.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck it. This is my friend. And I was like, I would want him. I only did it because I believed in him.
Yeah.
Then, of course, song becomes what it was. And I'm glad I did it. But it was just like, it's about making the decision. I didn't do it because it was based on money. I was going to say no because of the money. It was like, that money shouldn't fuel you. But it was like, at the end of the day, I made the right decision because it was like, I want to support my
relationship.
Friend. It wasn't about myself. It wasn't like, oh,
it's about them.
I'm getting like $1 million. Like, it wasn't about that. And so Jeremiah had him on there. And so that was like right when like couples were becoming a thing on Instagram and like showing off our love life. Is it anything like this? Whatever. So I had these friends, Jordan and Alyssa, that like were crushing that game. And I was just like, yo, this look that Matt was shooting the like he was tagged as credited for shooting Jordan and Alyssa doing this stuff. And I was just like, I just came up with this idea. I was like, all right, I could pull this off in a day. And so I was like, so then I'm like starting to be like, yo, Jordan, where'd you shoot this stuff? And I was just like, wait, why what Matt shot sick? I was like, some people have seen on Instagram, but I was like, this is almost like unused footage. Like
we're using it.
So I'm like, Matt, can I license your footage? He's like, yeah. So I never even met Matt. Matt was shooting stuff just because of this couple, just because it was just something fun to do.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't getting paid for it. And then I was just like, hey, I only have a day and a half. I can't go recreate this. I want to. Can I just license your clips? And I'll shoot new stuff that makes your clips that you already have into a story. He's like, sure. And for the longest time, like thank God I have a business manager now because I can just be like, yo, hit up this person, you'll get paid. For the longest time, like I'd never even met this kid face to face. And I was like, since I didn't like where Jeremiah, I kind of knew him. I was just like, look, I don't have much money. Like a lot of it I'm just spending on the production. He's like, I'll do it for free. Matt, I didn't know real well. And I was just like, hey, can I give you like a couple $100? He's like, sure. And like for the longest time, like when I finally met him, I'm like, Venmoing you right now, dude. Because it was like 6 months and he was just like, hey, can I get that money? And I was like, I didn't know Matt.
Yeah.
He didn't know me. And I was just like, it wasn't that I was trying to like rip him off.
Yeah, you weren't trying to screw him.
I just kept forgetting. And like, then like, so finally, yeah. So that project made us all friends, whatever. I forget what I was.
2.1 billion views, man. That's a massive, massive video.
Biggest lyric video of all time. It's crazy. But it just shows what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And that video did a lot for me in the sense of just acceptance. Like as far as I used to hate my handwriting, sloppy. Now people were messaging me, was like, yo, what font did you use in the Closer lyric video? I'm like, that's my handwriting. Wow. Now people are like, yo, that's your handwriting? That's fucking sick. Now I'm like, dude, for 30 years of my life, I hated fucking writing because I thought I had sloppy handwriting.
No.
And now I'm just like, oh, dude, this is sick.
Wow.
So it opened my eyes to something that I had access to my whole life, but I didn't even see it. I overlooked it. Because, like, again, it's like looking in the mirror. You see it every day.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, oh, I fucking hate my nose. I hate my teeth are crooked.
Yeah.
But I see you once. I'm not going to see that because I'm listening to what you're offering.
Yeah.
I met you, and then, like, all of a sudden, like, I don't know who you are. But then all of a sudden, you're like, hey, I have this. Dude, I love your work.
Yeah.
I have this podcast. Do you have any interest? It's like you're giving me. You're like you're building me up to where I feel good, not to where I'm like, you're like, dude, do you notice like this crooked line on my face? Like, no, it's because I don't see you every day, and I don't have your thoughts where you look in a mirror and are like, yeah, I don't like this about myself. Like, you know, that's how the mind works. It's powerful.
Man,
got to respect it.
Yeah. There's, man, we're gonna touch on a couple more topics. There's so much more that I could even dive so much more into Chainsmokers, but just to make things speed up, couple more topics and then we'll wrap this up. Real quick, Dare to Live.
When did you fill up that cup? Because I didn't notice.
When?
Yeah,
I was real sneaky about it.
Okay.
I got some more for you though. You've been chugging it. Dare to Live, right? You force music stars to face their fears in the order of you had Ray Strummer, Cruella, Shawn Mendes, the Chainsmokers, Iggy Azalea, Martin Garrix, Steve Aoki, and Khalid. Which moment or episode are you most proud of and why? This is on MTV, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't see it, you can go cue it up.
That's such a hard question. I mean, it makes me think of this Tosh.0 stand-up where he's just like, it's like picking a favorite kid.
Yeah.
And like he talks about this, like, you know, he's like, there's this Amish lady has 19 kids. You're trying to tell me it's a 19-way tie between all your kids? No. She's starting to be like, I'm not even sure if those two are mine. You're a redhead. You're dead. And I can make the redhead comment because I am a redhead. But anyways, so it's like, they're all different in their own aspect is what I guess what I'm trying to say. But like, you know, it's like, I might want to be like Aoki because, you know, I went to a point of vulnerability where I cried on TV and like, it was authentic and I felt, I felt good about it. I felt, you know, if somebody wants to be like, dude, you're a little bitch, you were crying. It's like, I felt okay with it because I gave something and I got something in return.
Yeah.
That was authentic. What, like, in that moment when I started to like have that conversation with him, I had a conversation with Steve where I had the conversation actually like 8 months, a year in my head before like actually speaking to him. I watched this documentary, saw that he had like his dad like was founder of Benihana, very successful man, must be very difficult. I related to him in the sense of having a successful father that actually ran a restaurant. Weird coincidence as well. Right. But also just trying to, you know, where I was saying before, like I don't have the relate of what it's like to struggle, but you don't have the relate of what it's like to come from someone who did the grind that became successful. Now I have this perspective of my dad. I never saw the hustle. I just saw him after he had success. So now I have this pressure. I have to live up to my dad. I have to be my dad. I have to fill his shoes. That's where I was as a kid. Like that's, you have no idea. You might not be able to relate to that. Where it just is like, I might be able to relate to like how you came up. So for me, having a successful dad in the long run was a great thing. But at the time, it scared me shitless. That's why I didn't want to go to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Because it's just like, nothing. Here's what I like doing, skateboarding, video. But I'm not good enough to have it become something to where I'd be as successful as my dad.
Yeah.
Little did I know, it was just, you have to do the grind. Like, so from the time I was 15, 16 to 30, making those videos was just me doing the grind. And then when I got 10 million views on Avicii and my dad calls me, he's like, you have 10 million views on a video. It's like, that's when I was like, holy shit. And then he came. I remember my parents came out for the premiere of the TV show, and it was just like the first time my dad had been out there since driving me every mile.
Yeah.
Which was like 8. Like now it's 9 years, but at the time 8 years. And so like I'd always gone home and seen him, whatever. Yeah. And so I remember he was just like looking at my room, and he saw like the plaques. He saw like a magazine cover I shot of Bieber, and he's just like, "I'm really proud of you." And it was just like, holy shit. Maybe I did live up to him, or because I did my own thing, I followed my heart, and I did the grind. What he was teaching me, like not like I found success and I'm gonna hand it to you, because my success might not be for you. I could have went into like the restaurant business and like eventually bought him out, but it wasn't for me. I knew I had something different, and so over time, like I just had to
follow through.
If I like video, I think some people get like, that's why I always bring up money. Is just like you have to do it not based on money. Otherwise, like you're never gonna be happy. You're never gonna work out. Yeah. Whatever. So, forget what else you were asking.
No, I was just really I knew asking if there was a favorite moment or time, but it's
So being able to like have that come like where I was like watch this documentary and text him, I was like, yo, like I resonated with that, like I like blah blah, like my dad has cancer, and like hearing like you losing your dad, like just like I don't know how to prepare for that, like, and now like I remember you saw him on his deathbed, and like he had that moment of like peace with him, like maybe like am I taking advantage of all the time with my dad, like that kind of conversation, like so being able to like have something that meant like that was like what I built with my career that people couldn't take away. Whereas like I feel like I've gotten to the point now with video, it's like it's always like I've been thinking about like I'm just gonna quit, I'm never gonna make a video again. And it's like, what's the point of that? It's like I love it, but it's like now that I've found success, now that when people watch my video, it's theirs. It's because I made something that resonated with me, and now that I put it out in the world, you watch it as a viewer, that video is like resonated with you. I can't take away, just kind of like what I said, like you can't relate to like how I was raised versus how I can't relate to how you were raised. Yeah. So since you have those feelings, now when you watch my video, it's resonated something completely different, maybe completely different what my intentions were. Yeah. That's your feeling now. Yeah. I can't take that away from you. And so, but what has been taken away from me is that I was unaware of like that's what it is to people. Like once I've released a video, it's not mine anymore. And so I understand that now because I have success, and now people know why you want me on the show is because I've proved myself. Yeah. And now it's like I proved myself, and now with social media, it's like I want another video. I want another video. It's like, dude, no. Now it's gotten to the point where like I don't want to make video because it's like I used to make it before just for fun. Yeah. And now it's not fun anymore because these people are wanting something that
they want it for them. Yeah. They don't want it to see a Rory
and so then it's
Kramer
like
vision.
So then it's like I don't want to be making this. So now I'm like I want the 50 grand. Now I want the $5 grand for being a part of this. Like whatever. Like so then you end up start doing it for the wrong reasons, and it's literally it's what I was saying before. You end up like wiring your brain without even knowing it. And I feel like since my car wreck, like almost 4 months ago? Yep. Yeah, it'd be 4 months next week, 13th. Since then, like I spent 3 months like after really, really depressed. Just kind of like, dude, you almost lost your life, and like that wasn't enough to like get you like just to like, oh, life's good. I was like, why am I still depressed? Yeah. Like I almost died. Like I should be happy that I'm alive. Why? Yeah. And it was just like over, and like I started slowly just accepting things, and like started seeing a therapist once a week to like, just really, okay, life wasn't working for me before. Like it was sick, but it just wasn't working. It was getting the best of me. I wasn't treating it right. And so then now it was like I took those 3 months of like being depressed, whatever, to really sit with my thoughts and be like, okay, before the wreck, here's how I was doing life. Like let's say perfect example would be girls. So before I wasn't like, putting in the time, like doing the work. It's like, of course I'm never going to find a good relationship because I'm not putting in the work to like actually go
Build something out.
Build something. You aren't building a foundation. It's just like, oh, this person's dope, I want to date them.
Yeah.
It's not like
taking the time to
this
really
person
learn
like
them.
really makes me feel good about myself. Like I don't feel shy. Okay. Hey, would you like to go to dinner? Like there wasn't any of that. There wasn't like just building foundations. So like when something tough in life would come, I would just crumble because I had nothing. It's like the big bad wolf story. Like, it's like build it out of straw. Of course, it's going to blow it down. But when you build it out of bricks, you have a good foundation. So,
talk to me about the moments leading up to that accident. How did that go down? And also, I want to say that in high school, I was in rollover. I hit a tree. I was a passenger of the car, so I wasn't driving, but nowhere near as bad as what yours was. There was 4 of us in the car. We all crawled out, walked away. Nobody went to the hospital. Nothing. But I can remember like that. That's a whole nother story for another time. It's not about me today. But just know that I can relate to having been through that experience. So I'm just curious to hear the moments leading up to that actual happening.
Yeah.
You're just driving around where it's just a sunny afternoon. Like what was happening?
I'll tell you this, and I know you say like, swearing whatever goes. Like this is where I will have to ask like before it goes out. Like I really have to ask myself if I'm ready to share that yet.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, out of context. Like
we can jump right over this.
I want to talk. I want to touch on it so we have it, but just I want to have that conversation.
100%.
Like
you're gonna have a couple weeks to figure out this is what you want.
But it's just like because I've seen where I had the best intentions with what I said online, and people it's right over their head. I'm just like, what the, like, do they have all the context? Do they understand? Is this somebody get like what I say next? Like somebody like. That's what social media has done to me. To where like people's opinions, like even though they don't matter, it does matter because now I have a value of what I'm good at. But my creativity holds a value.
Yeah.
And it was fuck, I forgot what I was saying.
Just leading up to the accident.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to go into
no, for sure. So the way no one can, it's kind of like, it also relates to like the Bieber thing of just like, I already got the guy before, like I just understood him and I understood that like he wasn't being seen for who he was. And so like, as my career started to take off, like I started down this path of like, you have no one can prepare you for fame, success, like your dreams becoming a reality. And not only that, but to have everybody, as you become successful, everybody, now you're in like on a pedestal, a spotlight. Now people can watch you as you're succeeding. And like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm figuring it out as I go.
Yeah.
But now people have the ability to watch me figure it out as I go and have their opinion. And so I'd finished. It was just how I explain it. I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
But the way I can explain it was over the course of, I don't know, maybe my whole life, I've always had those like feelings, whatever. And then when you get, you add like the success I found doing a TV show, it literally, all of it put together, like I was just at a really confusing time in my life. And then, I don't know, I might have those thoughts right now, but I'm sitting here talking to you where I'm not in a harmful place. I happen to be driving home. I decide like, because I knew before my wreck, I could never sleep. Always anxious. Didn't have the mindset that I do now. Maybe I have spent the last 3 months rewiring my brain. Like, you need to sleep. You need to sleep.
Yeah.
You need to sleep.
Yep.
8 hours at least. If you go to bed at 4, you're not getting up until 12. So like that kind of stuff. So I wasn't like aware or healthy or just knowing, okay, these thoughts are coming from this. When I finished the TV show, I should have took a break. But it was like, I got this email from Rob Dyrdek. He was like, getting your show to series is like winning the lottery. He goes, once that show comes out, he goes, your life's going to change. I didn't know what he meant by that. I didn't know that he was going to like know that my life's going to, I thought my life was going to change in like, oh, all the stress is gone. This person now can work. I'm going to have enough money where I can hire this person to do this. Like, I just thought everything was going to, like, my life was going to change.
It was just going to solve.
Didn't know what he meant. Your life is going to change is you're going to get to a point where you're so confused that driving into a tree might seem like the thing to be doing. And so I wasn't prepared. I wasn't like, I wasn't in that mindset of like, this is, you know, if you get to this point, here's like, if your anxiety's triggered with this, you need to go eat, you need to go sleep, you need to go do push-ups. Like I didn't have that mentality yet. And I was just driving home, going fast, and I'm just trying to make sense by myself in the worst situation. Now I have a car. Yeah. It was just like, I literally was so present that I'm thinking all these things. It's just like all these options. I'm driving down this road, but all these options of just opposite, instead of the actual path that I was on to go home. Yeah. All these thoughts, clutters, whatever. And you're just seeing these different, I can maybe go this way. Yeah. And you know it's not their way. Not the right way. And in this moment, I just didn't even think twice, went right into the tree. And then, but the thing about that was, and like, I think like that whole 3 months where I was depressed after, I think the only reason I got through it was because there was this moment of clarity. So I hit the tree, and I don't remember, I got a concussion. I don't remember from hitting the tree until standing in the road. So I don't remember getting out of the car, but there's only one way that it all could have went down to where I didn't die. And like, so I pieced it back together because of like my wrist pain, like noticing pictures where like the turn signals ripped off. Oh, my hand would have, when I hit the tree, would have came off the steering wheel, broke off the turn signal, jammed into the dash. That's why my wrist is sprained. I have no idea if that's how it happened, but like, that's like, I didn't get thrown from the car because I was wearing t-shirt and shorts. I didn't have any scratches except for my face. So that means I was still in the car when the car landed on the gravel. So I was able to like make sense of what happened in between with just the pain that I was given and given the circumstances. So anyways, I come out of, it's like, you know, when you're like in a deep sleep and like you have this dream, you're like, you don't know if you're dreaming, but you're aware something's happening. Then you wake up and you're like, oh, it's a dream. Yeah. So I'm standing there. I'm like, holy shit, that's my fucking car upside down. There's this yellow like turn signal just flashing. It looked like a movie, and I was so confused. I was like, because I go, this can't be me. I would never actually do that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm dreaming. I'm like, that's why I'm not like scared, or that's, I was like, why does everything seem like, why does this seem like a really great moment right now? And I was sitting there looking at the car, like confused. And I was like, you're dreaming. And I was like, usually at this point in the dream, I wake up. And so I'm like, I'm aware. I was like, maybe like I have control of my subconscious in this dream. I was like, I instantly knew I killed somebody. Like that's what my thought was. And I was just like, but I remember earlier in the dream that I never hit. There was no one around. There was no one around. There was not another car. I know I hit a tree. It's like, who could I have killed? So I go over and I try to lift the car. I can't lift the car. And so I get down and I'm like, I think I was looking to see myself. Yeah. So then I was like, whoa, you're having an out of body experience. Am I dead? And like, that's why I looked under the car to see if like, I didn't know if it was a dream, if I was in that point where I'm about to go to heaven. Do I want to go back to life? I didn't know. And all of a sudden, this blood just starts going over my eye. And the most crazy panic attack of my life comes over. I'm screaming bloody murder. Yeah. And it just sounds like you're in this abyss and there's nobody. Miles. Like, all you hear is just
nothing.
You hear the fan. You hear, like, the humming of this. It's like stuff that you aren't aware of. It's like, holy, it was just bone chilling, like terrifying. Yeah. But there was this moment like where I was confused, where I'm like, why am I? The only anxious thought I had was, why am I not anxious? Like, where's this feeling of pressure? Where's like all these deadlines that I have? Because like when I did the TV show, like that's where it really fucked me up in the sense of like pressure and deadlines. Before it was like nobody said shit about like nobody was like, hey, where's this video?
Yeah.
Because
You get it done.
I was, you know, I got into the scene of what I do at the very beginning, and I helped pave the way of having a turnaround time within 24 hours. So people knew me of like, he's the guy at the party in the corner with this laptop banging out a video while I'm partying. And it was like, I had my priorities in line. I was crushing it. And then when I got on the TV show, it was like, hey, we need these edits next week. I'm like, what? I have like, this is going on TV. People are going to see this. So now I'm like, is this good enough? Like, how do I like, so, and sometimes you don't have inspiration. So like it's like, I have a week to make, you know, the recap, my intro, edit these 2 sections, oversee what you're editing to give notes on that. But I'm not inspired to even create any of this. So now I'm running out of time. Now you might have to edit it because this pressure that I've built in my head and this deadline, it's like your creativity shouldn't be like a product where it's, you know, who knows? Maybe you're working on like this thing, you don't even know what it is until episode 300 because somebody's just like, we need purpose in the youth. Like tomorrow, we need it tomorrow. So you get in this mentality of rushing yourself where you're not even thinking about the process of like what you want to do. You start going through it and all of a sudden you look back, you're like, wait, like, damn, like I blew this opportunity because I was thinking, I let this thing that didn't exist manifest into my mind that it's like, you're not good enough, you're not capable, you're gonna fail, it's gonna go back to that, you get back in that Avicii mindset where you want to hang yourself, or it's like all that kind of stuff where you just, it builds. It's because I don't have any experience doing this. I've never, my brother, my sister, my mom and dad didn't do this line of work. So now that I'm getting into it, I'm having to figure it out on my own. And when people are like, oh dude, why are you complaining, dude? You travel the world. It's like, exactly, dude. I don't know what it's, I've never traveled the world. I don't know what it's like to have people come up to you and be like, dude, you saved my life. It's like, bro, I'm just trying to save my own.
Yeah.
Like that's it fucks with your head in the sense of like, I don't know. It's a lot of pressure sometimes. And so, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just, it's like speechless because I don't even know what to say.
But there was this moment right after the wreck where I was confused, where I think that I had this piece where none of it, the anxiety, nothing, I felt perfect. I felt like, oh my God. Like if somebody was like, I want you to dig, I don't even know, dig a 20-foot hole. I'd be like, cool. Like nothing fake. Like at that moment I was like, if somebody wants me to like, do manual labor for the rest of my life, cool. That would be sick. Like I was so at peace. But then when the chaos came, like over the last 3 months, like the only thing that like kept me going was like that sliver of peace where I didn't feel any anxiety, any depression, where I was just like, I'm looking at a fucking car wreck and I'm like, this is fucking like why is life making sense in this chaos right now?
Yeah.
And I think it was just telling me of like, you finished the TV show, you should have took a fucking break to figure out what's next. Now you're just kind of going through the motions of people know what you're good at, but you aren't really listening to yourself of like, okay, why I got into video was to have a TV show. I've accomplished that. Something that, you know, most people don't get to experience in their life. And I'm like, I should have been, not only is this cool, now I'm starting to think of like, what the fuck's next? And like, I don't know how to answer that because I've spent the last 16 years trying to get to here. Now that I'm here, it's like, holy, now what do I do?
Yeah.
And then it's, you know,
so it sounds like these last 3 months have been a time to really reflect.
Well, it's just I never gave myself that balance.
Yeah.
And so therefore, when you keep going, you're gonna burn out. You're not gonna like it. You're gonna end up resenting what you do. And so when I should have taken a break after the TV show, then my ACL goes out, and then it's like that's life again trying to say, hey, you should have taken a break. Now your ACL's fucked. You can't walk. You have to take a break.
You have to take a break.
Again, I don't get the idea there where I'm just sitting there going, get me the fuck off this couch. I don't like, this is crazy. I can't sit still. This is prison. Going crazy. So as soon as I could start physical therapy, started it.
You were there.
I'm a fucking addict, dude.
Yeah.
I'm in the fucking thing as fast as I can so I can start walking. Because I can't sit there with my thoughts because I'll go crazy.
Yeah.
So I had to I put it into physical therapy. People are like, oh, you had an ACL? Like, well, how many months out are you? I'm like, month. They're like, you're not on crutches? I was on crutches for 2 months. I was like, yeah.
Not for Rory Kramer.
Neither could I, because I would kill myself by that point. And I hate to use that term because I've already talked about suicide, but this is more of a joke. It's like, I'd rather die than sit on this. I could
I'm not sitting around.
No, I'm doing the work. And so, then I literally just got back into, I guess, just kind of masking what I was really
scared to talk about or
just of I don't know what's next. And it's like, hey, I like doing this, but it's like, cool. You've grinded for the last, 16 years, but 4.5 years professionally. You built a nest egg. You can afford to take 2 months off.
Yeah.
You aren't rich in the sense of you can retire, but you're wealthy enough in the sense you've worked hard enough to give yourself that break to balance yourself out.
You can breathe.
But I didn't. I thought if I don't keep going, all this is gone.
Yeah.
Little I know, it's all going to be gone because I'm not balancing myself out. And what you're doing is you're going to drive into a tree thinking this is the way you balance yourself out. No, that's the way you take your life.
Yeah.
And so I just, and now having time, it's I don't want to be on fucking Instagram. I lost 10,000 followers in the last month. I'm fine. Before that would drive me nuts. Now it's maybe those 10,000 people weren't following me the right reasons. Yeah. Maybe they were following me because of Justin Bieber. Maybe they were following me because of the Chainsmokers. I don't want somebody following me because they want access to somebody else. If they're following me because they love the Bieber video, great. I don't want them following me because they think it's access to
the insides of
these something of Justin Bieber because Justin Bieber's not my only source. Okay, Rory's attached to Justin.
He's got to be posting about it.
He might post something about him.
Yeah.
I don't want people following me because of that. I want people to follow me because they
care.
They want that Bieber video because they know it's going to resonate with them, not because it's, I don't know.
It makes so much sense that your branding is run it. That consistency of running it and just doing the things and just
a lot of the things that resonate with people and are successful with people have given me success is because I'm trying to just make sense of the whole run it thing. It wasn't because it's people deal with fear. It's no, I deal with fear, but it was kind of earlier, how do you channel that anxiety? Do you let it get the best of you, or do you recognize it, turn it into a weapon, and fucking destroy what you're gonna do?
I like that.
So run it for me was I noticed this anxiety. A perfect example, when I jump off cliffs, and girls. So 3 very different scenarios, same feeling.
Yeah.
Jumping off a cliff, if I know if it's deep enough, I know if there's nothing below me. If I be as smart as I can in such a dumb, stupid situation or dangerous situation, if I take out all the factors for risk, then I know I have the best chance of succeeding. Is it crazy? Yes, but I know what I'm capable of. I know that I've practiced to get here. I know I'm not going to jump off something too high if it's too shallow.
Yeah.
I take out as much risk as I can. So that's another thing of fear. That was a feeling of fear. Asking a girl out. I'm a lover. I love women.
Yeah.
I would love to have a family one day. So of course that's for me, it's that's a lot of responsibility. It's I want to find the right one. I want to find the one that I can live with for the rest of my life and not be annoyed. And that makes me a better person. I make them a better person. Start a family, raise a family together.
Yeah.
Have those kids go on, do the same thing you did. Pass on, no one's probably going to remember me when I'm dead. No one's probably going to I'm not going to take all the money or whatever I've collected along the way. The only thing is you go under the ground or cremated, whatever, and then whatever you did on earth stays on. So if I choose to live my life of I pass on something to you, then maybe that's how I'm remembered, because whether it's not Rory Kramer, it's now you've passed along an experience or a feeling now to him.
Yeah.
Whereas Run It was that. So if I went to saw a girl I like, I'm going to get anxious because I care.
Yeah.
Again, same with the cliff. I'm getting anxious, it's a little bit of, I've already eliminated that, the anxiety.
Punch back in, Rory. Fix the hair real quick.
Okay, I fixed the hair, you know, I looked at the mirror, got a little insecure, and I was like, oh, this is what I look like. Anyways, so back to when I'm jumping off the cliff, I've already eliminated the fear of, like, because I feel like fear and anxiety can take different forms of feelings, or like hide in different feelings. So that anxiety might be hiding in the idea of, oh, I'm gonna die. But if I do the homework and I do put in the time of like executing it flawlessly, then there's no fear of dying.
Yeah.
Now the only fear is that it's keeping me from experiencing what I want. So when I recognize that, that's where the run it comes in, to remind me that I'm not going to die, that this is the point of no return, and that fear is not going to keep me grounded. I'm going to see this anxiety and I'm going to go through it because I know what I want is that release, that feeling at the end. Not, I don't know what's going to happen. I know I'm going to jump off this cliff and be fine. I know I'm going to go ask this girl out. She's not going to pull a knife out and stab me. I'm not going to rule that out. 99.9% chance they're not going to pull a knife out and stab you.
Yeah.
You could get the one crazy person in life.
Stay away from there.
Or it could be me. You know, if I didn't get my sleep or my coffee, could pull out the knife and stab you. Joking.
Run it.
But yeah, exactly. So, but then another one was, another fear was like from creating. And I noticed that same fear and anxiety. And it was like, I love doing this. So what is that real feeling? What is the root of that feeling? It's because I care, because I don't want to fail. I want people to, you know, to resonate with this, because I care so much about what I'm doing. That's the fear. Okay, run it.
Yeah.
All different feelings of fear, anxiety, but all controlled. Like when you sit there and understand, okay, why am I nervous? I'm nervous because, I have to walk across a beam this wide, 100 feet up with a camera. Yeah, of course you should be scared because you don't have a harness, or you could die. But when you take out when you really listen to what it is, or understand, okay, asking this girl out, you know, I'm nervous because I might get rejected, but I'm not going to die. Yeah. So when you understand, like when you really listen to your thoughts and understand, oh, this is a good anxiety. I'm anxious because I care.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pushing you.
You turn it into a weapon, you say run it, and you jump off. So like what I like about my brand is like I created a lot of stuff, some of my most successful stuff, to make sense of who I am. Yeah. And I think that
it fits well though, everything that you've talked about today.
Right. So it's what I love about it is like, I'm not selling you a shirt with my face on it, because I don't want people seeing that, because I know where that face has been. I know that it's been sad. I know that it's been through difficult times, and I'm not selling a picture of myself because I'm successful. I'm selling you what I used to help me get to where I am. Yeah. That phrase, run it. Yeah. It's on a shirt, it's on the back, because when you see somebody walking away, it's to be that billboard reminder. That reminds you. Run it. Not like, I don't want people seeing run it and going Rory Kramer. If they do say Rory Kramer and that's how they associate it, fine. But I want them buying it because of the message, because they're like, I want to start a purpose in youth. Hey, I want to be a basketball coach, or hey, I want to be a high school teacher. Like, there's fear and anxiety with every different line of work or whatever you do in life, and it's about just, you know, understanding it, controlling it. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I could spend so much time with you, Rory. Like closing questions. Closing questions. One, where can people find you on social media if they have no idea who you are, which I'm sure they might?
There's a thing called Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just my name, Rory Kramer, RORYKRAMER. You can put it up in the Google. The next thing Google, you know, you got crazy stories about me. And
you're gonna find everything about Rory. Before I ask the last question, thank you for coming in today, taking the time, because I do understand somebody like yourself. how busy you are, how much shit you could be doing right now. You could be editing a video, you could be going out with the friends and just grabbing coffee, but like to take, like genuinely to take the time and to come up here and to be part of this is an honor, like
Thank
a
you.
fucking honor, bro.
Or it could be that I just thought that you were coming to my place
Yeah,
the day
that was
before.
another. They don't know that. This is actually the third time we've scheduled it. I was supposed to be at Rory's and then kind of got a little backfired.
But no, I appreciate that.
Seriously.
And, yeah, it's just it's nice to hear that. I mean,
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons I create is just to make sense of who I am and also like self-acceptance of myself, and like to hear that, you know, it is nice. You know, you do want to hear people say like, "Oh, I like this work," but you want them saying it because you know that it resonated with them.
Definitely.
Kind of like the Run It thing. Like when I see somebody wearing it, it's like, "Oh shit,
They're
this
with
makes
it.
me feel good because it's not about me, it's about them."
Yeah.
And so then it makes that struggle for me worth it,
Yeah.
you know?
Helps add that fuel to you. What's the last question for you? For somebody who's listening, haven't found that passion, haven't found that purpose, what's the best 2 to 3 pieces of advice you have for them?
Best advice is to listen and be aware of when you are trying to find what you love to do, that when you find something that you don't like to do, that's just as important as finding what you love to do, because you can't find what you love to do without knowing what you don't like to do. And I think people get so caught up in like, I don't fucking like this, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to go to this. I was talking to this girl the other day, my friend, and she's trying to be like a personal trainer, and she's like, oh, I got this thing at a gym, and I was like, I don't really want to go to it. I was like, obviously you love, like, this is what you want to do. You want to be a personal trainer. You don't know how to get there. Well, how you get there is you go to that place that you don't think you're going to like, and you be like, I'm right. I don't like this.
Yeah.
But I do like personal training. I do like working with people. Where's the gym? Maybe that gym doesn't exist. Maybe it's because I don't like half the people that are coming there, because people suck.
Yeah.
But I'm a smart person, and it's like, cool, I like personal training. This person wants to work out. This person's my friend. I know how to control him. I know how to get to him. I know how to motivate him. He sees the results I have. He wants these results. It's just about finding what you don't like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I wanted to work in the entertainment industry. That 9 to 5 I had, not that like it was a bad job. It's just, it wasn't what was going to fill me.
Yeah.
Boss told me I could work there the rest of my life. You know, I have a job. Like, so the fear, anxiety of having money, he just told me I could work here the rest of my life. So there's nothing. I have a full-time job, health benefits, 12 vacation days a year, 12 sick days a year. I was like, I could live with that. But that's, I guess,
Fine. So the big thing is just
find what you don't like
wanna
to do,
Okay.
because it will lead you closer to, you know,
Where
it's
you
like,
actually want to be.
Yeah, it's like if you end up eliminating all the things, the only thing left is, you know, it's like the same thing with marriage. It's like when you go on dates, it's like you date all these people and you realize they're not the one for you. So when it is time and you meet the one, you know it's the right one because you've been with all the ones that aren't right for you.
Yeah.
You got to apply that to every aspect of your life. Easier said than done, because people are probably going to hear me say this and then type right up there and be like, fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
I am, you know, everybody is. I'm human.
Yeah.
And so, but that's the thing is, at the end of the day, I have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like, I sometimes am consumed with what other people think, but I have to remember at the end of the day, it's like, did I do it for myself? Did I do it for the right reasons? Otherwise, you know, what's the point?
Yeah. Rory Kramer, thank you.
Thank you, man. It was fun.
The man, the myth, the legend. We'll catch you guys next time.
See ya!